Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Lately on Inverts. Hey, Rob. Hey, Ants, Flora, and Fauna. How you guys doing? And hey, everyone else that might be tuning in. And welcome, Scott.
Hello.
So, Scott of Scott's Inverts. Long time coming. I've been meaning to ask you for so long. So I've gone, but always appreciate you're a busy man. So,
I always get a bit like, I don't know, I always think, well, why do you want to interview me when there's so many other people out there? Do you know what I mean? So hence I don't do many.
I feel the same as when people ask me, I feel the same.
Just tell you, I think the last one I did was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, which is crazy to think, which is, I was just saying, that's basically when I first started. And so it was about 5 years, sort of 5 years ago, 2020 of doing YouTube and first coming across your channel and stuff. So that's a real long time. Lee and I just thought first we had 2 girls, 1 cup. Now we have 2 beers on screen. Straight in.
That's one of his fantasies. It's got to be in it.
That's it. Now all we need to do is chat scorpions. That's legal. That's Lee's. Oh, that's a happy night for Lee. Hey, Dave and Nat. Hey, thanks for coming on. This is actually going to be part 1 of 2 because tomorrow night come over to Scott's channel for the same thing but in reverse. So it's going to be me tomorrow night, sort of thing. But tonight's all about you, Scott. So and thanks for coming on. But anyone watching who perhaps hasn't come across the channel, doesn't know who you are, do you want to give yourself a quick introduction into Scott and Scott's Inverts?
Yeah, Scott's Inverts. Been on YouTube for about 7 or 8 years. Kept Inverts for near enough 10 now. Just create content more for what I'm doing at the time, more for what I like. I don't really do videos on request very often. But I do care videos and other videos such as like show videos and family outings and stuff like that. There might be a few more of those this summer. So we shall see. Used to be live on a Tuesday, every Tuesday. This year it's been a bit hit and miss because of Dad going into a care home and stuff. But hoping to try and make it more regular now. So we have been last week before. So this week we've got yourself on, so I'll be interviewing you tomorrow. So the roles will be reversed tomorrow. So that means you've got to be careful with your questioning tonight.
That's it.
But to be fair, you can ask me anything. Nothing's off the record, if you like, off the.
That's cool. Because anyone in chat, if you do have questions, do put them in the chat, and we'll ask those to Scott as well. And if I miss them, just type them again. Amy may join there just to admin the questions just to remind me of, Phil, you missed this one. So,
if you could give it a quick share on Facebook and social media to your mates, that'd be fantastic. If there's anybody from the WhatsApp group, if you could just drop it in there for me, that'd be brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, any shares are greatly appreciated. So, Scott, Lord of Inverts, how did it all start for you? What got you first interested in Inverts?
Do you have a watershed on this channel, or is it just straight into adult conversation?
We can go straight in.
Awesome. So, the wife said the microphone's a bit dodgy. It's been dodgy on my phone for a while. Probably heard it in videos. But what got me into Inverts was an addiction with Class A drugs. So I was rattling in a flat, coming off the drugs. Been on them for ages. Was homeless and all sorts. So I'm in my flat, rattling away with my dog at the time. And I think it was after the first week, my mate come round and he went, "You need to get yourself out," as in just out in the world, because I'd locked the door. I went down to the shop once in a blue moon, and that was it. And I went, right, let's do something. So went out with him a few times. We were doing like house clearances and removals for about a week, and it was like for me going home, just had the dog, ADHD, ADD going like crazy. It was just like, what the fuck do we do now? Do you know what I mean? I needed something, and my mate's nephew was being thrown out of home, so he gets chucked out of home. He's got somewhere to go, not a problem. And the message was because they knew I was into weird stuff anyway. And of course, keeping spiders to people that don't keep spiders is something weird. So I got the message of, you need to come and get these spiders off the drive. They're your mate's nephews. I'm just going to leave them there. So I was like, okay. So me and my mate went down and picked up a adult female LP, Lazadora Parabama, adult female Chalcodes. And the Parabama was in an Exoterra, 30 by 30 by 30, so boreal setup, with probably about 2 millimeters of very, very dry substrate, no water bowl. Chalcodes was into something very similar. And I kind of looked and I was just like, yeah, I don't know what it was. I looked and you just get an instinct, even if you don't know what the species is or the animal. I just had this instinct of, that's not how you set it, it's supposed to be set up. So I did a bit of Googling, went on Facebook, started chatting to Steve Thornton over at Fantastic Enclosures, well before his YouTube channel. And he introduced me to like the BTS show and things like that. And I started looking at the LP Chalcodes, looking at the setup, and it was giving me something else to do apart from work with my mate in the day and think about drugs at night time, because that's what was happening. So at night time, I was on the internet instead, somewhere else in my mind to go. Did I realise it would take me to where I am today? Not in the slightest did I ever think I'd end up with so many spiders, so many friends, and be so engulfed in the mad community that we've got going on. But then I met the wife, and we discovered that she didn't really like the spiders, but weren't too like negative about them, let's say. So she was very much like, oh, you got two? Oh yeah. So we went down the local pet shop, which was KBN Reptiles. And if you're in Coventry, KBN Reptiles is one of the reptile shops that it goes above and beyond to give you the correct info. But at the time, they had this girl working there, and she was there by herself. Me and the wife have gone in, and this is what really got me like, oh my god, because the LP just sits there, the Chalcodes just sat there, they weren't doing much, and this girl produced a small paraplastic tub covered in webbing and said, "Oh, this is a mad bastard. It's called an OBT." And she took the lid off, and it come flying out, and all the rest of it went flying around the enclosure. She put the lid back on. I didn't know that they're old world. I didn't know they were venomous, so I just bought it. And then chatting to Steve again, and I was like, "Oh right, so this is an old world, is it?" And then started looking into that, and from there, it's just exploded. It's ignited a passion, and this passion for the inverts. It's for me with the ADHD, the ADD, and all the rest of the mental health issues I've got, and as well as the addiction in the past. It pulls my life into focus. So I am 100% convinced that if the spiders weren't there, I would still be struggling with day-to-day life. As I don't think I'd be able to function in society as well as I do now, because you get keeping spiders as a weirdo, and in the community you fit in. So it gives you that sense that, well, I fit in somewhere, so I don't give a shit about the rest of it. And for me, that just works.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people, can relate to a lot of that, whether they've been for addiction or not. Is that sense of belonging somewhere, sometimes, and having that thing of, oh, this is a group of people, a community that I fit in with, and don't care what I look like, don't care this and the other. They're just like, oh, you're interested in this, am I? Sort of thing and stuff. And when we see that at the shows, the amount of different people that attend the shows, there's often different life.
Yeah.
So
But you get rockers, you get ravers, you get bankers, you get unemployed, you get everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those like small events in life where it's an event for weirdos, and we're all weirdos, and we're all being weirdos together. We don't give a fuck what's happening outside the doors at all.
absolutely.
You know, you can speak to anybody and everybody. I love the shows.
Lee has thought, the Inverts. The interesting fact is Scott's Inverts was one of the first channels I watched that got me into all this way back during the COVID days. So technically, it's Scott's fault I'm broken, but full of scorps.
Hashtag blame Scott's Inverts is a thing.
yeah, there was a lot of that in the day. And happy Mr. Callum has been a member for 34 months. It's amazing. Cheers, Callum.
Callum's been a huge supporter over the years for all of us.
He has.
Real big. Yeah.
That's insane. 34 months is insane. And just want some mighty skin knows. Scott was my first initial welcome to the world of bugs and the nutbags who keep them. Feels the videos and lives open up to another side. Thank you, boys. So much warmth. That's fantastic to hear.
That's one of the things I always wanted to do was like try and create a community. I know community is kind of a buzzword, has been a buzzword for a couple of years, but kind of create a safe space for us all.
So
bring it forward that mental health's completely fine in our hobby. Age gaps are completely fine in our hobby. It sometimes takes, longer for us older blokes to understand all the new kind of power words that the younger lot use and stuff like that. But all we need to do is have a little bit of time to understand each other, and away we go.
Yes, that's it. And there's something in terms of the hobby as a whole. Nowadays is so different to 5 years ago, even more different to 10 years ago, and for me, even more different to 30 years ago. It's constantly evolving, constantly changing.
All the information that was out there was like close guarded secrets, even 10 years ago. And one of the things that used to piss me off in the hobby was, do your research. And it's like, well, I won't hold my hands up to it because my research involves, hey, Phil, have you ever kept this? Yes, I have, mate. And have a conversation or watch a video, because that's my learning is more by chatting to people, by watching videos. And there's only certain websites where I can take the information in from. So if there's like the Spider encyclopedia, Spider Catalogue, World Spider Catalogue, for instance, I can read it in sections, but as a full piece of script, I find it so difficult to read it all and kind of maintain that information. Where if I can read it and there's pictures from where in the world that spider's from, so I can start visualising and my visual side of my brain's going, as well as me learning side, then I can kind of get a better grasp and a better understanding of what's going on. And I think the word for people to quickly jump on people and say, research, I think that holds quite a lot of people back in the hobby currently, and in the past. And I think that's something where we need to try and change it as a group. Not in a nasty way, just like politely say, mystery boxes have always been one. Mystery boxes has always been the, people have a go at them because, you don't know what you're getting, so how can you research, how can you prep? And it's like, well, I've got enclosures and I've got soil. It doesn't take a genius to kind of go, right, humidity, temperature, you're halfway there.
That's it. I love a mystery box as much as you love a mystery box. So we both love them.
In the hobby.
And for me, mystery boxes, they certainly have their place. And I think, for people that perhaps have never got one before, it's like, as long as you've done some basic research, whatever that entails, sort of thing, you can get a beginner's mystery box and you should be pretty much okay. Kind of thing. But as I think, and you get that of the whole, do your research, or if you don't know, you shouldn't get this animal kind of thing across taxa hobbies, getting the raptor hobby as well and stuff. And it's like, well, actually nowadays, asking on Facebook and social media
It's
platforms
how we do
is our
research.
research.
We're not all like the good thing about our hobby is you can come along and watch one of our channels. I say mine probably more so because I keep it exceptionally very, very basic, because that's how I do my spider hobby. It is very, very basic. Or you can go as in depth into that species as you want, because you've got archives from the BTS, you've got the World Spider Catalogue, you've got the scientific papers, everything's all online for however deep you want to go into it. But at the end of the day, if you want to keep it simple, it's literally, is it a boreal? Yes, it is. Okay, awesome. So I'm doing a boreal setup. Humidity. Oh, right, okay, awesome. So I need to keep the substrate damp. And temperature. Okay, yeah, I can achieve that. It's not difficult.
No, and nor should it be.
No.
But you always get people out there that try and make it more difficult than what it is.
Or make it sound, yeah, because they want that podium.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I say, you get that. Yeah, across the board, sort of it's one of the mains that I see on various groups or whatever. Someone say, "Oh, I'm thinking about getting this. What do I need to know?" And people just go, "Well, if you don't know, you shouldn't get it." Like they haven't got it. They're asking.
But that's
They're
what that's their research. That's how they're discovering what they need for that species or for that animal.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And just typing in "how do I keep XYZ" on Google, if you're completely beginner, never kept anything, you don't know what's correct and what's not correct, or what's the best info, or what's achievable for you.
There's still going to be websites out there that are really old, never been updated, that have got information saying, "Oh, water dish, keep a sponge in it," or "water dish, fill it with stones." So where'd you go?
That's it. Yeah, or even where you get the whole argument of whether stuff should be. Yeah, and you also get sort of arguments of whether something should be kept fairly basic or bioactive or this and that. And actually, it doesn't really matter.
Remember when we had the bioactive discussion? And it was you that first said, nothing's actually bioactive, it's live planted. And for me, that was like such a huge penny drop. It was like, he's so right. 100% right. All these people saying bioactive, it's like, no, it's live planted. Yeah.
Yeah, most ones you see,
It made sense.
in my opinion, are not truly bioactive. Kind of thing it became a buzzword.
It sold substrates, didn't it? And plants.
I'm all for life planted enclosures. I've still got nothing in there actually. It's plants, but sort of
dried oak leaves, bioactive leaves. Suddenly they're putting an extra £4 on it. You know,
it's a marketing thing, and that's what it became, and what it has become. Yeah. I thought you do get some that go to someone who's a complete beginner, unless you can keep it this way, you shouldn't be keeping it. So, well, actually, no, we all have to start somewhere. And actually, if you've never kept any animal before, going bioactive or live planted or whatever isn't going to be the correct thing to do, because more can go wrong.
Yeah.
And whether it be a tarantula or a snake or a lizard or whatever, keep it kind of simply, but effectively. And what's good for that animal is far better than going, well, you need to get this, these plants and this sort of exact sort of substrate that costs 20 odd quid, and this exact sort of thing. No. Keep it like this. Keep it simply. Get in, and then if you want to do that, cool. And I think, as I said, that's what we see on your channel is, I'm going to listen. This is in a plastic box, but this is absolutely fine. This is
I'm doing more now in plastic tubs, because you kind of can fall into that. Oh, I need to buy it £100 glass enclosure or £100 acrylic enclosure, because that's what's on YouTube and it's all lit up and it looks real good and I feel under pressure. And I don't think you should feel under pressure, because if you can spend a £5 on an enclosure that keeps the humidity and keeps the spider's requirements, in my mind, you've got £95 to spend on another spider.
Well, also as well,
it's as simple as that.
that beginner, that person brand new to it or thinking about getting their first one, it makes it more accessible.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I can do that.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
So, and I have various enclosures. I've got ones that are live planted. I've got ones that are plastic boxes. Sort of thing. I don't know, and everything in between.
I've got moss, so you could class that as a live planted in plastic.
Yeah, we've got live plants. It's live plants.
You can still get like you can still have growth within the or on the substrate area, if you like, within Baroplast, within plastic.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've seen plenty of enclosures that a lot of people would say are bioactive within rubs. Sort of thing. So, and including for reptiles because they do transmit UV light. so it's all achievable for anyone and everyone. Whereas, you can fall in a trap of just having display enclosures, and then people going, "Well, I can't afford that. I can't afford £100 for the enclosure."
But you can afford, a fiver to get yourself a plastic box and keep the spiders parameters or the inverts parameters just as well as what you do in £100 enclosure.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it opens up to an end table, and then again, if they want to go, "Oh, I want some display enclosures," which often we all end up having a few display enclosures. Boom, cool.
Anything's enclosure if you're brave enough.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
Not £95 saved. Well, that's what, 20 quid. Bought yourself a new shelf. Bought yourself 4 new enclosures. And still got money left for a couple of light slings.
That's it. So you got into your inverts, and you started with a couple of spiders, and then getting more and stuff. You go into various inverts because it's not just spiders that you keep. You've got scorpions, you've got millipedes, still got Tari, the enemy, is into isopods.
Yeah.
Stuff. And if it's an invert, like me, you're interested in it.
It was we've had stick insects. A lot of those have gone to Noah's old nursery because they absolutely adore them. But it was I think it was true spiders and centipedes, kind of sort of 7 years ago, that I started looking at. And again, that was just other people in the hobby talking to them, and then seeing the bad reputation at the time centipedes had. And for me, there was a point in my life where a centipede was the most scariest thing on the planet. So at BTS, the first BTS I ever went to, kind of, was it 8 years ago, whatever it was when Spar Spiders, Luke was trading there for the very first time under Luke Hughes, not Spar Spiders, and I bought a Dahani. And it was sold as some spinnerpeas, and I didn't buy it off Venomous Visions, but Tony actually PM'd me and said, "I think that's actually a Dahani, and would you send me some pictures?" And I did, and he gave me all the advice in the world that I needed. And I thought, this hobby, for people that, you buy an invert off a different seller, and then another seller tells you how to keep it perfectly. I think, wow, what hobby we live in, because other hobbies just wouldn't be like that. They wouldn't tell you unless you bought it from them.
That's it. You're seeing so many guys like, unless you buy it from us, we're not giving you any advice, kind of thing. It's like, that's not like that. I'm like,
for me, a lot of the tarantulas, when you look at the bodies visually, if you take away their patterns and their colours, they're very similar to one another. Whether they're arboreal or however they are. Yeah, okay. Some have got longer legs, some have got thicker legs, that type of thing. Some sit differently. But when you go into the world of true spiders, that's when the spider hobby just ignites, and there is true spiders out there that look completely different to the next one, not just in colorization, but body structure, legs, everything. And I think it was the Hogner Miami that I first had true spider wise, and that ignited some stupid passion in true spiders because they don't live as long as tarantulas. So I've had a lot of true spiders. Tried to pair Phalanx. They paired several times, but unfortunately never had a sack off those. Sarli, we had a sack off Sarli. The whole story that I can't tell you on YouTube because I can't. It involves baby spiders running around the house. But yeah, it's been pretty epic, and to think that in almost 10 years of keeping, there's just still so much out there. It's incredible. I mean, I kept a few scorpions over the years and what have you, and then hooking up with Tim and just chatting to Tim and talking about scorps with good old Timothy. And in later years, kind of George and Leo's in chat. You can't help when you talk to those guys and yourself to kind of feel that passion. And it's just another side of the hobby that just gets ignited. Again, an invert that we can keep, and it's what I find fascinating is always the takedown. So, with tarantulas, they kind of feel it and they'll go forward and grab it. True spiders will just teleport to it. Some majority of them kind of bite it, step away, wait for it to die, and then go and munch it or do whatever. Centipedes are just, for me, the apex predator out of the lot, and then the scorpions. Some of them just grab it and start munching on it. Others will sting it, wait for it to die, and then another one will hold it in the claws, sting it, and then start munching it. That's a side of the hobby that I really. It's a little bit sadistic, but it's what I like to watch is the feeders getting munched.
And let's say a lot of people do. I mean, see lots of feeding videos on social media, and especially when it comes to tarantulas and stuff. And yeah, Tim puts up a fair few with the scorpions, sort of thing, especially as DWAs. They're taking down stuff, and it's something that is fascinating because it's not something that you, even with a decent sized collection or a large collection, it's not actually something you get to see every single day, sort of thing. As up, so when you do see it, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool. This is fascinating.
I do like flicking through the feedings on Instagram and stuff like that. Yeah. Very
cool. Did see Cass Thompson Acres is wanting to get a giant centipede from Taunton show in February. And so there will certainly be some centipedes there, guarantee. We're pretty sure Venomous Visions will be there. Pretty sure Bugnut will be there. Something like Spy Shop will be there as well. 3 great places for centipedes. So we'll have a nice pick. And some of the ones available nowadays are stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Good starting centipede is a flagtail.
Yeah, fantastic.
The defensive mechanism is literally the two terminal legs are like in the shape of flags. So they tap them together like this, which is like just something different to watch and observe. And it's cool, really cool.
Yeah, and they're a lot calmer than Scolopendras.
Yeah, my Dahlias tend to be chilled. But then I find they don't really burrow that much because I'll keep the substrate damp and then I'll just put a piece of cork bark flat on the surface.
Yeah, that's what I like.
So,
yeah.
And then they go underneath, curl around, and then that's where they are. They're like a claustrophobic setting, and they're quite happy there. Sometimes I'll lift the lid and put the feeder next to them so they remember to eat, and then put the cork bark back down again gently.
So, you said you got into the Inverts sort of 10 years ago or so. As I've been keeping for sort of 10 years, and then been doing social media for, did you say about 7 years or so? Doing like YouTube and
7 or 8 years, yeah.
But what inspired you, or what made you go, what, I'm going to start putting this stuff out there on the internet, especially on YouTube?
A couple of friends were literally like, Scott, you should start a channel. And I went, doing what? And they're like, just the invert. I was like, do you know what? Sod it, yeah. I'll do it. And I think the first video I did was filmed with a camera this way. And I'm going, yeah, Scott, this is my channel. I don't really know what the fuck I'm talking about. And then you get to start with, it was all about views. So it was very much like, because I was talking to likes of Gar, and Gar was always like, views this and views that, and you need to do this with the algorithm and that with the algorithm. And in the end, I was just like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm just going to do what I want.
Yep.
And I do. As you've probably seen, some of the videos that I put up are not exactly the most popular. Some are. But I'll still put them all up because it's. I think you've got an opportunity with YouTube really to document your whole hobby, and that's what I try. That's what I'm trying to do, as well as do the community thing and do some educational stuff. A lot of it for me is to go. But at this point, I've tried to hand up photography, and there's like a 1 minute YouTube video that I did that is just literally crap pictures because that's where I was in hobby at the time. But it's really good for me to look back on. Me and the wife were sat here with Noah, and Tara got the video of when he was born in COVID up this afternoon. So that was like, 5 years ago. There I was off in the hospital, literally shitting myself because I couldn't. Well, we didn't think that I could go in for the birth, and that was all documented, and it's always going to be on YouTube. It's always there. And the lives I've had some of the most amazing people, including yourself, on live streams over the years, and some of the most just wonderful conversation. And the likes of like Leah in chat, Callum in chat, that've been there for since day one. And others, and sometimes you'll be in a live stream, you'll be talking away, and like Leah or Callum will go, "Oh, but this," and you think that was fucking 7 years ago when I said that, or something got said, and it was like a thing to say at the time, like moist. Do you know what I mean? And then they bring it up. Yep. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And then of course, you put yourself on YouTube, and we are in literally the most supportive hobby in the world because people at shows go, "Oh, Scott, how's it going?" This is when I only had about 400-500 subscribers. Went to my first show, and then people were like, "Oh, Scott, you're okay? Really enjoyed that video." And I'm like, looking at the wife, going, "What do I do here? Hi."
Yep.
It takes you off guard the first time, doesn't it?
No matter how many times it takes, I'm more like, it sort of is like, we forget people do watch. What's this? People watch what I put out. What's going on?
Like I said, with the ADD and ADHD and the other stuff I've got going on, it's like my mind is like, what? You're a fully grown man. Why are you watching my stuff? What? And it is really, really difficult to comprehend that people follow you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm trying to people coming like, "Oh, really enjoy your videos or whatever. Thanks for that." And I'm like, I'm just a random guy with a phone. So, but it's again, it's something that you're just like, I never expected that sort of thing. Sort of thing. I just always appreciate, when people do, and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing.
It's scary, like when you do a video, and let's say it's on a scorpion video, because obviously I incorrectly named a scorpion once, if you remember that video, and the shit I got off that was unbelievable. But the correction video got more views than the first one, so happy days. And luckily enough, it was TSS that incorrectly named it. I just went off what they said, and the care requirements are identical. So I've just left all that on there as like we made mistakes and what.
Yeah.
And it was I got a bit of shit for that, and I was like, oh come on,
Honestly, we all make mistakes.
I'm not a computer.
I mean, even taxonomists make mistakes, so it's You
Just
know,
one of those. It's like
we're definitely going to make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes at times. So there's some inverts species are almost impossible to tell apart from each other unless you dissect them. With some of them, sort of thing. So it's when you buy something off a vendor, you do take their word for it. It's what it is, and they've probably bought out. Wherever they've bought that from, it's been sold as that. They've taken their word for it.
Can you remember when CFTM brought the centipede in? Was it Borneo species brown?
Yes.
And the blue.
Yeah.
And 2 individuals kicked off the death about that all over Facebook. And I was like, how many spiders have been in your collection? Scorpions that have been something species? How many spiders, scorpions, centipedes have been in your collection where there is no taxonomical reports for their medical, for their venom? Sorry, for their venom toxins. It's just an excuse to kick off. Why?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
And sometimes things on some of the lists that we'll say very, very vague stuff about what something is, kind of thing. You send me pictures. Also, I was like, Phil, what do you think these are? Because they're just labelled as XL Scorpion from Tunisia. What does that mean? Sort of thing.
I mean, I obviously chat to Tim a lot, and he gets the same. So he gets a lot of the big sellers dropping him a message going, "What's this?
Yeah.
What's that?" And then he also gets
literally just say black scorpion or tarantula. I mean, I remember Clayton years ago, he was looking at a list and it just said 300 tarantula-like spiders. He was like, well, what does that mean? It was like, he literally went to Ray Gamer. Was like, Ray, what do you reckon? Thing. Where I was like, yeah, I mean, we never know, sort of thing. We'll see what they are. So it was just like, it can be that vague. So, and yeah, none of us are experts. When it comes to a lot of this and stuff, we're all learning it every day.
And I think everybody knows I am absolutely perfect at pronouncing all the Latin names.
Then there's actually put 7 years. Scott, she remembers when you started. She was one of them.
Yep. Yeah, there from the start.
Dan Clan approves for social media. What kind of company starts that? There you go. Tara's 7 years in April. So it's a long time, and then again on to I mentioned about just saying various things. We've got Sally. How's a while ago?
That was when we did the charity night, wasn't
it? Yeah.
I think we were raising money for. Was it for Ellis or was it raising money for the autism one? No, the autism was where I dyed my hair blue, wasn't it? I think it was when we raised money for Ellis charity, and I was like, yeah, if you raise 500 quid tonight, I'll put the life dress on, get Layla to do the makeup. Thinking, not a chance. And I think we raised like over £600 in one night, and of course then I had to dress up. And then Tara recorded me taking the piss with a mop and that in the kitchen, so that went everywhere as well. And it was Anton that I think it was Anton that nicknamed it Sally. I don't know, or he's just said it to me over the years.
The old sexy microphone as well.
Just a mispronunciation.
Another one. And of course, YTO as well.
That Leah started doing YTO.
She did. Sort of thing. So, I thought, I guess got to tell the sexy microphone story.
You have to remind me because I can't remember, but I'm pretty certain because the microphone was like this, and it was just like long, black, and thick. I think it went from that. I can't remember. I can't quite remember.
It was on a live, and you meant to say sexy microscope.
That's it. Yes, and come out and said sexy. Yeah. So
yeah, I'll get my sexy microphone. We're like, what?
Huh?
I was like, well, do you just ask him? They go, what's sexy you? And I see him with the microphone.
You just ask it with the microphone. It tells you. That's why you need the microphone, because they talk really, really quietly.
But I mean, we've all done things like that where we just said the wrong silly word or whatever, and it just comes out as a silly thing. So,
Yeah.
I've done it. Matt Transfer Rookie's done it. So all of us have, and yeah, and with mistakes, we all make mistakes in videos, but also we might get in videos because things change all the time. An old video, one they done
Oh, yeah.
3 years ago, can suddenly be incorrect on the thing because things
Well,
change.
you could do a video this week, and then next week you could have a name change.
Yeah, I mean that literally happened. Well, it happened within a day of Richard Tranter Collective releasing a video, didn't it?
Literally.
done a video, and the whole genus changed the next day.
But yeah, but with somebody like that, with his contacts, you would have thought he'd know, because
But again, it's all these things, and then as it comes on to the scientific names and stuff of pronouncing them, and as I'm truth is, for most of them, no one really knows. Yeah.
well,
So,
I mean, Taliti Cattle. I think it was me and Prince Richard that just changed that to cow boobs, because it's titty cattle, so cow boobs. If you can't pronounce it, just say cow boobs. We know it's Taliti Cattle. But for me to say Taliti Cattle, my God, I think it was Tarantula Dan released a video the same day it changed on how to pronounce it. And I played that about 1,000 times and still couldn't say it. So that took a long time for me to be able to say Taliti Cattle. But in the same light, if I said Taguga Cattle, you still know what spider I'm talking about. So it doesn't. Scientific names are very, very important, because it relates to that one particular spider. It tells you what genus they're in, so it gives you the heritage and all the rest of it. But if I say curly hair, and then say I don't know, Tiliticatalabalopus, Phil knows exactly which spider I'm talking about. But if I said Tiliticatalabalopus, he still knows what spider I'm talking about.
yeah.
So what we're trying to say is, as long as the two people that are talking about this particular spider know which spider you're talking about, don't get too hung up on the actual pronunciation of the scientific names. In a lot of the videos that I do, you'll hear me go, "Oh, Taliti cattle, whatever," and then halfway through the video, I'll say, "Oh yeah, T albopilosum," because I forgot how to pronounce the Taliti cattle part, and it's easier just to go T. Or, I mean, common names all the time get a lot of hardship, really. Do common names, but even people that hate common names still go GBB, LP.
Yeah, I mean, common names have their place.
They do have a place. Yeah, it irritates me a lot. It does irritate me, probably more so than it should do, when a seller gets a spider, like the lava spider, and goes, "Oh yeah, we're going to call this the lava spider because it will sell more." I think that's a bit of an insult to the people that live with this spider, and they will have their own name for it. If it hasn't got a common name, it's because we haven't asked the locals that live with that spider what the common name is. And I think we owe it to their traditions, literally, to ask the people that live with these spiders what they call them, and that's what it actually their common name should be.
We've
Like
common names.
such as the OBT, orange bitey thing, because that's what the locals call it.
We also got, so many of them have potentially 5 or more common names per species.
Oh yeah,
Kind of thing.
as
As might be in a native language to where that animal is native to, they'll have their common name, and then it comes over to Europe, to the UK, or to the States, and people go, people might struggle with this one, so we'll call it this, and that happens all the time. with everything as well and stuff. Sometimes common names will derive from the scientific name a little bit, depending on the species. So, but anyway, when you first get into the hobby, often you need a common name. So have some kind of common name.
So when we come into the hobby, we're like, like children going out into the world. So we need it on that kind of a level. And curly hair is the easiest way, the easiest thing to be able to say, and all the rest of it. If somebody says, "Oh, it's a deleted cattle," you go, "What? It's a what? Eh? It's a what? What is it?" And a lot of us need that. It's a curly hair. Oh, right, yeah, got you, curly hair. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's because someone explained it to me years ago. Because we kind of almost, as children, we do learn scientific names because we learn dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and dinosaurs are all scientific names. Sort of thing. There's no common names for any of them, kind of thing. But then we kind of get out of that. We remember those, but then we get out of that, and of course, as you get older, it's harder to learn things sometimes and stuff.
I think we've got to remember
most animals you keep with it just as a common name. And so, I'm far better with scientific names of inverts than I am with reptiles.
I think what you've got to remember as well is not everybody has the same vocabulary as the next person. So some people can say the word hula hoop, others can't, and will never be able to say it because their tongue will not do what it's supposed to do in order to pronunciate. And I think it's very much the same with Latin names. If you throw dyslexia into that, which I have, you're in a whole new, minefield of spending hours and hours with people sending you voice notes on how to pronounce it. And if it weren't for some of my friends, literally dropping me a voice note for some of these Latin names, there's no way I'd be able to pronounce them at all. And I also think it's really important to let everybody know that fact as well, because it's easy to watch a YouTuber and go, "Oh yeah, Talita cattle," and it just flows off the tongue. And then they try to pronounce it and go, "Oh, I'll never be able to do this." But what you don't see is the hours spent trying to say these names and having like voice notes sent over to you, in order for you to be able to listen to somebody else say it and actually break the word down as well. And then you break it down, and then you send the voice note back to them, and then it comes back, and then back and forth until you can actually pronounce it. And then you come round to do the video, you say it twice, and the third time you fuck it up anyway.
and the thing is, in the UK, in England, in Scotland, in Wales, we say the same word differently to each other. The way I say Bath, go up north, and it's Bath.
Well, look, if you go worldwide, aluminium. You say aluminium to an American, they'll be like, "What are you talking about?" And if you say aluminum, they'll be like, "Oh, got ya."
Yeah, so it's just how it was. And then, with scientific names, it can be quite daunting when you first start. It's all about just having it written down, having it there, and eventually you kind of learn them anyway.
Well, let's face it, a lot of long words are difficult. Yeah. A lot of long words in the English language are very difficult to pronunciate, understand, and when you see them on a piece of paper, it's like they all the letters kind of intermingle with one, and you almost get it, and then you can't. So then with scientific name, and then people go, "Oh yeah, it's Latin name," and you go, "Oh man, it's just gone. It's a foreign language. I can't understand it. I don't know. Does it mean E or does it mean something else?" So for me personally, it's just easier just to go. Normally, it's Ling, just like drop her a message, going, "How the fuck do I pronounce this?"
And then we confuse everything even more of that. A lot of them are actually Greek. They're not Latin at all. And then there's even ones where it's a mixture.
Yes, and then you've got where several taxonomists have described it. So the species is a mix-up of their surnames, and you go, "Oh, come on."
Yeah, Simon Roxagorum. It's a mixture of kids' names.
Yep. Yeah, that's whose kids was it? Was it Emil's kids?
Emil and I think Christoph as well, possibly, and another guy. It was like kids from the three
It
people
was
that
Brad,
discovered
Christoph, and Emma that discovered the boot rooms.
it. And so I think it was like names from three that from three kids between them. And so, and then more recently, I mean, Titicato as an example, that's a native language to Mexico.
And the hobby is still like, why did you split that genus?
It was coming for a very long time. So, with Brachypelma never made sense for that lot. And stuff when they sort of looked at it. So I got wind of that a good year or two before it happened. So that was happening. Or was likely to happen because of what Brachypelma stands for. Titicatus. See, I struggle with it. We all struggle with it. So, translates as black spider.
There's other things that need like changing first, like the racist ant that needs swapping over to a decent name. There's a couple of spiders that are very going along that route as well. They need changing. It's like, come on, do these. But you'd think they'd do those first.
And it all comes down to who's got the funding and what they're interested in initially.
Yeah, and a race to who can do it first to get the name on that piece of paper.
Yep. As in that, as we're going, because I mean, Brachypelma raratum, Andrew Smith was going to call Brachypelma flammea, but he didn't get there first. The paper was submitted, what was it, a few days before his, day or two before his, and that's what got accepted. So, Liz asks, Scott, is there anything you haven't done on your channel yet after all these years but want to? That's a good question.
Yeah, a lot. So I want to branch out past inverts, but I don't know how people would take that. So I'd like to do an urban camp somewhere, like on a roundabout, something stupid like that. Literally going back to my homeless roots. I've done a little bit of a video on going through Swanswell Park, speaking about being homeless. But I'd like to do a video that kind of I go back to the parts where I was homeless and kind of explain the whole addiction side of it, and then up until getting the flat. Basically, I'd like to cover that area because I want to be completely transparent. Apart from the reasons that I went homeless involves somebody else, so the reasons that I went homeless will stay private because it's unfair on the other person. But I'd like to do some more stuff with the kids, take them to places. There is some interesting videos coming out this year, 2026, sorry, where I'm going to somebody else's place. I want to do a lot more of that. I want to come out and go, you're right, Lee. Is it all right if I come to yours and do a video? I want to do a lot more of that, like just exploring other people's collections, like we did with Tarantula Room. But the hobbyists, not just the sellers and the breeders, and just interview you guys kind of in your spider rooms. It just costs a lot of money to do everything that I want to do. So trying to fund it or work out how I can fund it is the issue at the moment. I'd like to do some massive giveaways. I've got crazy ideas for giveaways where literally, somebody's in a crap situation, so we pull them out of it. But again, it's where do you get that type of money from? And doing spider YouTube, it doesn't. The money we get doesn't cover the apps that we pay for. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I have with the brain I've got so many ideas running around my brain. It just costs a lot of money. I would like a central hub set up in the Midlands, kind of central part of the UK, where we can all come whenever. a little bit like the Inverts do, but on a much smaller scale. Basically, just a safe space. So, like a building where one, we keep inverts and everything, but two, if let's say Phil was married and he had an issue with his partner, he could come straight there. There's somewhere there to go. Do you know what I mean? Just for us lot, just for hobbyists, which would then have inverts and other stuff there, just to help out with mental health. I'd like to try and get the money to fund a project where we look at inverts and how they can help people with mental health, because I know dogs do. Yeah, please. I know dogs help people's mental health, but for me, my dog did. It got me through drugs and all sorts. Could I have another one? No, because that one meant so much to me. But with spiders, I go in my spider room, and you'll notice I'm always going from one subject to another with the ADHD and stuff. But in the spider room, I can concentrate on one subject. I personally think that's because the spiders just sit there and do nothing. And I think it encourages me just to pick up on that vibe and sit and do nothing. And by doing nothing, I'll end up concentrating on the one thing, which is really, really useful. But yeah, that's what I'd like to do. There's a lot of stuff for YouTube that I'd like to do, but just financially, it's just impossible. Let's say impossible at the moment, because you never know what's around that corner. But yeah.
They just pop the kettle on for you, Scott. Going Tim's facility would be a good one. It would be a good one.
That was supposed to happen this year, but I couldn't afford the fuel to get up there. It was supposed to happen twice, so that is happening. Hopefully, in the new year. So, the problem we've got is, you got invert show near enough every month. So if you chuck expenditure at an invert show into that, and you've got to remember, I run a 3-bedroom house with 3 kids. Tara don't work because she can't, because 9 times out of 10, one of the boys ends up doing something at school with their neurodiversities, and there's an issue there. My mum's quite old, so it's nice to know that Tara can just go to a mum if she needs her as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. If I was a millionaire, I would be all over the place. Put it that way.
As in, I mean, yeah, the show circuit next year is bonkers. With the show circuit,
it's like I couldn't get to yours because literally just couldn't afford it. Next year, I want to do. I'll be doing all the invert shows, obviously, because we work for them now as well as doing BTS, and I'm just going to put money aside for Middlehall.
So, but it's weird because like shows years ago, I remember when there was 2 shows of doing inverts a year, and that was BTS and AES. That was the only shows. And then came along the Midlands entomological fairs. They started doing 2 shows a year. Then there was the Kettering show, which doesn't exist anymore. Kind of thing.
That was an alright show. That was the Kettering one.
Yeah, it was decent. It was big. I think at the time, it was a big show. That's kind of all there was. There was more reptile shows than there was invert shows. When I first started, and so there was a reptile show pretty much once a month. Kind of thing up and down the country, and then Invert Shows UK started, and you know what? There was a lot of people. Now we're like, oh, this is going to dilute the hobby, and this and the other. Polar opposite. This exploded the hobby beyond proportion. Like, and they keep getting bigger and bigger and better. And next year, it was counted that, including Invert Shows UK, BTS, ASCs, all those sort of big shows. Those with all then the smaller shows that are popping up, like Milton, that's been going for a few years now. There's something like over 30 shows next year. They're invert related.
The invert shows and BTS are obviously the biggest ones by far. The invert shows for next year, I'm privy to a lot of the information that goes on there. If you sell, you're going to want to book a table. Literally, what's happening at the shows next year is pretty epic. Because you've got to remember, I'm talking to the event organisers, so I'm going, Lee, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we do this? Can we do this? And then you get the crazy sellers like Dan. He wanted to fire T-shirts off into one of the shows one time, so you get mad ideas coming to you all the time for these shows. The giveaway at Christmas, we're giving away 2-3 tickets to tournament Christmas Day. I want to do with Lee again. I want to do a lot more giveaways so people can get free tickets to the shows next year.
Yeah, like Inverts UK have, as shows, I would say they alone have really expanded the hobby, made it more accessible to people. I mean, the Southampton show was insane how big it was and how busy it was and stuff. And it just goes to show that, all these shows haven't diluted the hobby. They've all improved it.
No, look at the Coventry show.
Yeah,
I shared that. I shared those show details out to the local Coventry groups as well. So there's people that are attending that show that didn't keep spiders, that don't keep any inverts, that went there, probably bought dry stock and dead specimens and such like, or maybe even bought their first spiders. The amount of times I chat with Luke and he's like, mate, somebody else come up to me today to buy their first spider, and he literally prides those moments, and it's amazing because these shows, like you said, that they originally it was a bit like invert shows because there's so many. The other shows are taking a hit from it. Bullshit. Not anymore. I think it is a case of that the invert shows, BTS, Middenhall, and other shows, they're just attracting more and more people to the hobby. And I think a lot of people come to the hobby and go, this isn't like a reptile Facebook group. Everybody's really friendly. These are really easy to keep. I don't need UV lighting. This is wow, what a community. Everybody's lovely. And I think it just gives, again, us weirdos somewhere to go, and then more weirdos come along.
Absolutely.
Let me just say to Lee, thank you. Lee just says, give me a date and I'll drive you to Tim's for free. This is what I mean. The support in this community is just... I ain't even got words for that. How can you explain that type of generosity?
Isn't it? And as we get throughout the invert world, throughout the invert community as a whole, sort of thing, you'll see on the group, whatever. Oh, I'd really like to get the show, but I can't get on my lift. Every down. Don't worry, I'll give you a lift. I'm going past there. I'll pick up. So, and is it? Hey,
Layla knew what I was doing.
I'm surprised Sarah's only drinking out of that one.
This one's my one.
Oh, it is definitely your one.
Yeah. I broke a lot of tires, to be honest, by accident. So, I mean, you have Flappy Pants, Happy Andy chat. I broke a few of his. I'm like, fuck's sake, can't need to buy another one. I'll get another one.
So I spoke to a load of people out of Glasgow that just walked in off the street and never seen a tarantula before in their lives. Yeah, and I say you get a lot of the shows.
There's another beautiful guy in the hobby.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're ever at like the Scottish show, or if Dan ever gets to other ones as well as, just go and say hello.
And yeah, I mean, in terms of the shows, they're more than just a selling thing. Yes, there's us traders there that are selling, but me, you, and a few others are going around. I try and get around as much as I can and film, sort of thing. The film trying to share it with everyone. As I've noticed something that I started doing because it's like, it seemed like an easy thing to do, but it's quite weird. It came across as weird how many people actually appreciate someone just filming as much of the show as they can and putting it out, and people really enjoy it. Because they can't get it's nice to see what's there, even though I can't get to it.
It was yeah, Antics. He was like, it's not an invert show without Scott's walk around. I was like, what? And he said, because I use Netflix on a lot of my YouTube videos, he said Netflix, he said the actual band are on Spotify, so he listens to them a lot now. I know Craig listens to them a lot. Louise as well, she listens to Netflix, which is pretty cool. And it took months of literally searching through YouTube libraries to find them as well.
So Dave and I thought that they mainly go to the shows to see everyone. That's a big part of the shows. It's just meeting up with everyone. So I just think, but before social media, before doing YouTube and stuff, I didn't know you. I never met you. So first, met you on a live, and then first name I actually met you in person at a show. Same with Leah that was in chat earlier, and Terry stuff. Hell, because of all of this, I've met Amy, who I'm with and stuff. I probably wouldn't have met Amy and stuff, and a whole bunch of other. I feel I wouldn't know Dave and Nat and stuff. And it's always in a place that go to a show and friends are there. And so as people I know, it's like, I haven't seen you for a month, whatever.
I mean, who's in chat now? I mean, Dave and Nat, they've been on the channel for years and years and years. Leah from day one. I've been to Leah's. I've had Terry's snake round my neck. We've done stuff outside of the hobby. Callum as well as I mean, the amount of times I've had phone calls with Leah over the years, probably more than I've had phone calls with anybody else. Literally 9 times out of 10 it's a video call. Scott, it has to be ADHD thing. My nephew who lives with me is always breaking walks and plates, anything that will break and breaks. Oh, Kaz, I tell you, we're just clumsy. I'd fall over fresh air, me.
Well, Jeanette Spiders, we had a great time. Our first pre-show at Coventry, brilliant people.
Who's that?
Jeanette Spiders. Hey, Jeanette.
Oh yeah, her and her husband, awesome people.
So
they get the worst pissed.
With the shows, again, where they become more than just a show day is the fact that a lot of them have meetups before. There's meetups before the show starts for everyone just to have a chill with each other because you don't get necessarily that time during the show if it's a real manic one.
I mean, BTS and Coventry are the main two that I'll go to. The London one, if Charlie is doing it and putting on a room for us. But the Coventry and the BTS ones are normally brilliant. I take the wife, she gets absolutely hammered, makes an arsehole of herself. Picture of slut dropping at the Coventry one. But so what? And then the following day, she's like, I hope I didn't embarrass you last night. I don't care. You enjoyed yourself. Who gives a shit?
And then, in terms of the shows, not only are you doing social media for yourself, are you doing social media for the shows or filming the shows for their channel and working for Inverts Shows UK? How did that sort of come about? Did you approach them? Did they approach you?
So 2 years ago, Lee came to me and he says, how do you feel about doing this? And I went, look. How it is first and foremost, I do a video for my own channel. That's my priority when I'm at a show. And he was fully accepting of that. And I thought, do you know what? This is an opportunity because I love filming the shows. I absolutely nobody really understands my concept. When it comes to shows, I would quite happily walk around with an invisible cloak on, filming absolutely everything. And the interactions between people and getting to know when somebody doesn't want to be filmed and editing it out is an absolute skill. And I hope I've nailed it. I hope I've not filmed anybody that don't want to be filmed. But it was an opportunity to do 2 videos that are completely different from one another. And it was an opportunity for me not to, I didn't really want to interview people that were biting. I know Ling does that. She gets in the faces and she does all that type of stuff. But for me, I was very much like, I'd like to interview the sellers and try and get people people that might not be aware of them more, so that makes them more approachable when they go to another show. So yeah, Lee approached myself, and we went from there. And there's been loads of mad stuff, loads of mad conversations I've had with Lee over the past couple of years about the shows, and we're doing it all again next year, obviously. But he's also open to listening to ideas as well. So if you've got ideas for the shows, go see him. Go, worst case scenario, he says, yeah, it's great, we can't do it, or maybe it's feasible for next year. There's stuff that I go to him with for promotion wise, as well as while we're at the shows. Maybe there's a door open that should be shut, or maybe a door needs opening and it's shut. Just stuff like that. I'll quite happily go and tell him. And then I just get the freedom, like you've seen. I'll come behind your table and film you from like the side view, or I'll go behind somebody else's table and film from there. It puts me in a very, very like privileged position to be able to do that. And it's just a massive opportunity for me just to get people's like yourself. Although I think a lot of people at the shows know who you are, but let's say I don't know. Let's say Auntie Debbie starts selling jumping spiders. Nobody knows who she is, but if I can get her on an interview on a Invert shows video, then the next time she goes to the show, people will feel like they know her, and that makes that person more approachable. And it's just a way of getting people to look at every single table, and maybe even going, "Oh, Scott asked you this question. Would you mind just expanding on it?" And a lot of them will. Bear in mind, there is some tables where they are like, "Oh, we don't want to be interviewed." That's completely fine. Just tell me to sod off. I'm pretty thick-skinned. It don't really bother me. But yeah, it's producing the two videos that are completely different to each other, and now I get to produce a couple over Christmas and into the new year, kind of looking over the last year and obviously promoting the touring shows and the rest of them coming up over 2026.
Yeah, I mean it's fantastic, and it also shows, say, Lee and the others that are Inverts UK, their foresight of utilising social media and people that do social media to help promote things and stuff. Because you do get some, I've been to shows where they've literally banned YouTubers from entering into the show. I was at a show years ago, and and it's like, even if they weren't filming, it was like, no, we don't want you in here. And it's like, what? So, like, if it does get filmed, that's free promotion, sort of thing, and stuff. And Lee's always been very much sort of like, no, we can get free promotion out of this sort of thing. We can, initially and stuff, and see it on Spider Shop Sound where we'll have, over the years, various people from social media helping out.
If you do TikTok or YouTube, drop me a message and you can get into the show 5 minutes early just to film. To film only, not to buy.
Yeah.
As long as you're promoting the shows.
But it's things like that. That's not everyone does that, but it's like, actually, it's getting promotion. It's literally that, isn't it? It's I'll let you in 5 minutes early so you can film it. As long as you film this and advertise it, well, scratching someone's back for them to scratch your back and stuff. And it works both ways, and both people end up happy and stuff without then the negativity side of it of just going, okay, yeah, that's right, it doesn't exist anymore. And it was just like, no, you do YouTube, you do TikTok, whatever. I don't want you in here because you do this, even though they didn't have a camera out or anything at the time.
I mean, there is a really well-respected character within the hobby who I respect hugely that doesn't even like to be filmed full stop.
No.
So I tend to miss. I would miss them out.
Yeah, and
it's just respect.
And yeah, I didn't know that the first time I started, and I'm sure I know the same name. his name, but was film vlogging, and he didn't like that I was filming. And he was like, no, you're not filming my table unless you pay me. And stuff, and it takes you back at first, and then they just go, oh, he doesn't like his table being filmed. Fine, won't film it. Sort of thing. And stuff, and it's just that if you don't want it filmed, that's fine to say, no, please don't film this table.
Dan's just said, like, it would be awesome to have a big enough YouTube community in the UK to have a social media table at some point, like you see the American shows. I don't know. I don't know if that'd go well with the UK.
I mean, that's the thing. The UK and the American markets are very different to each other.
Mm.
If you're talking like stuff along the lines of, it's Animal Con, isn't it, in the States, where they have like big social media presence from across, YouTube and TikTok and Instagram and everyone else. Whether something like that would work in the UK. Whether people would be interested.
I don't know. I mean, when Richard came over, it was great chatting to him. He was very approachable, very just a genuine nice guy. Richard was.
Yep. Yeah.
Down to earth, lovely bloke. Had him on a live before the show. Just very down to earth, nice guy. Then on the other hand, not impressed with him in the slightest, because one of the first, I think I've seen him at 2 shows. The first one was the BTS, and there was no queue, so I just went out a picture with him. And the second time, he was there with Tarantula Dan, or Dan social media, when he was doing stuff, and Layla went to talk to him, and he just ignored her, just shunned her off like she was a piece of shit. And I went up to him then, and I literally said, like, who the fuck do you think you are, mate? If you put yourself on social media, then you should be open to talking to anybody at any point. Now my daughter's going to come back over and see you. I highly suggest you speak to her. And he did. But that initial, literally just like shutting her off, pissed me off so much. I just thought then, if I ever do YouTube, I'd never be like
that. And that shows, like, any of us, you can come up and say, I always say, come up, say hi to us. If I'm chatting with someone, come and tap me on the shoulder.
Hey,
sort of thing, whatever.
People always look so busy. It's like I don't give a shit if I look busy. You support me, come and say hello. I will say hello back and we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
I just look stressed. I always look stressed. Don't worry about it.
So, and it's like, the worst I'm going to say is, just give me 5 minutes or whatever. Sort of thing. Just don't do a Luke and try and get a selfie with me when I'm in the toilets trying to have a piss.
That's it now. That's it. In total, we want selfies of you and Phil in the toilet.
but that's Luke. So, but like, yeah, it's that thing. I'm people do all the time when I'm going around film on a show, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, don't get like, no, interrupt. I've got time." At this moment, you're the important one. You want to say hi. So I'll always stop what I'm doing. Sort of thing, So it's that thing, because you never know the person that want to say hi to. Perhaps what they're perhaps going through might be a child that looks up to you. Well, that's my job to inspire them more. Thing. It's my job to be. Yes,
It costs nothing to remember where you come from, and it costs nothing just to be polite, does it?
That's it. This is it, because all this could end, next week. We don't know what's going to happen. So when it comes to this, I could lose my channel and stuff, and it's unlikely, but you never know what's around the corner. So it's just like, always got time for whenever someone wants to just have a chat, or just to say hi, and it's always appreciated. So, but in terms of like an Animal Con style thing, yeah, I just don't know if the social media side of things for the UK is big enough for.
Like Donna says, Wilson's exotic. Some people don't think of others' feelings and should never leave children out because they are the next generation.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a shining example of that in Jeremy. Jeremy come on my channel when he was 16 years of age. And just look how much he's progressed now.
I was about to say, don't say look how much he's grown because he hasn't grown. Love you, Jeremy, if you're watching.
But it's true.
Jeremy's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So he's one of my favourite people within the hobby.
I mean, I've been, I've fallen out as you do, and I've fallen out with people that have fallen out with me, and their kids are at a show, and they come and say hello, and you still spend time. You have to.
Yeah. So he imagined it more like an educational setup rather than a meet and greet. Well, it's something I sort of thought about, well, sort of last year, sort of discussed with Leah a little bit. We haven't really done anything sort of since. Was we often attend the Advancing Herbological Husbandry Conference, was how the Dragon Manor would be like. Wouldn't we could have something like this that's invert based for invert husbandry? Obviously, have BTS lectures, but they solely focus on tarantulas, sort of thing. But have some that include scorpions, so you could have Tim chatting of basic scorpion husbandry.
Oh, well, Tim does that at the lectures.
That sort of thing. But, someone talking about stick insects, someone talking about isopods, this and the other things in the wild. But again, it's whether that would actually interest people.
They do the talks, so we've had Onlypods there.
Yeah, good.
We've had Rushy doing the ants. We've had Brandon doing millipede setups at London show.
And I've done a couple of talks for Inverts UK as well. I've done one on zookeeping, or heading into zookeeping, and one on keeping and breeding of emerald, cockroaches, and basic isopod sort of keeping. So I think like something that's like more kind of conference style kind of thing. Where a mix of things, because AHH is that mix of hobby, trade, zoo, scientific, and everything rolled into one kind of thing. And you got everyone from all walks of life there just listening to lectures. Including like conservation stuff. So a bit like the talks at Inverts UK, but just talks for a day or 2 days. And they started off with just a day. Now they're a full weekend conference. But again, it's sort of like whether there is for just that is another thing, because like I say, you got the talks at the shows.
The talks at the shows tend to be by hobbyists for hobbyists. Very basic, just general information, or just put the information that you need. If you started going really in depth, I don't know, because you've got to remember a lot of the kids will sit there and listen to the talks.
Yeah, this would be. I just put a lot of conferences are moving towards booked workshops as well. Yeah, that's true. That there's a lot more workshops, especially sort of within the zoo world. Stuff of doing things like that, so where it's more, for people of like, Windsor will have like, come and do this rock workshop or whatever, or this lighting workshop.
Yeah, Donna said again, like Ling did one that was on tarantula autonomy, and she kept that quite. Well, she kept it basic for Ling. She could have gone really well scientific, really in depth, but.
But it all didn't. sort of different things. And I think that's it. We all have various ideas of what we can do, and what things to perhaps even look at. I mean, again, that's perhaps something maybe not next year, but maybe in a couple of years, perhaps Inverts UK may introduce things like workshops or something where it might be. I don't know how that would work, how you would work that necessarily at an Invert show.
I don't know, because you got to remember, for the event organisers, that's their whole Saturday travelling, Saturday night, Sunday, and then Sunday night travelling back and getting home at whatever time in the morning, and then the other shows that like Lee might attend. It's going to be a lot, as well as running the spoiler shop along with the others.
That's it. But also, it's about stuff, okay, if you ever get, as it was saying earlier, of a centralised sort of hub that people can go to.
I think that would be just, for me, it would be epic. One, we could store our own information there. Like I said, two, if anybody in the hobby would like just needed somewhere to stay for a bit, they've got somewhere. Another thing that I really, really want to do is, if that central hub was working, let's say if we had it staffed, i.e. somebody was there 24 hours a day. Imagine, you got to remember that this is where I come from as well. So if you've just come off the streets, you've got addiction, and you're detoxing in a rehab, and you've come to the end of the detox, but the detox is finished, but the rehabilitation time is now starting. It'd be great to have some of the lads and the girls come over and to go round the spider collection and the scorpions and the inverts. And the reason for it is this is something that I wanted to do for about 8 years. But the reason for it is because when you come off drugs and when the physical side of it stopped, it takes such a long time for your brain to stop thinking about drugs. It really does take a toll on you. And the weirder things are, like the surroundings or something that's going on, your mind goes onto that and takes you away from that drug situation for a period of time. And I think with spiders being the way they are, centipedes being the way they are as well, scorpions as well, you've got to remember, to the general public, we keep some weird stuff. It will take people's minds off drugs and just focusing on spiders and something weird for a little bit of time. I think we could help that community, like the recovery community, out so much just by like literally giving them that hour or 2 hours, like to come along to a central hub. And maybe, like, spinning off that, maybe we could. I spoke to Leah about this before. Maybe that central hub could be somewhere where we could fundraise to buy parts of forest, and then that forest would then be, the invert woods, and it'd be managed but left alone with the intention of nobody else can ever buy it. It can never be built on. It is solely, purposely, just purely for UK native inverts and animals. That's a dream I've had for a long time. Again, alongside with, like, chatting to Leah about it a few years ago, about, because a lot of the woodland that's for sale is over in Wales. But could you imagine getting cash together to be able to buy a woodland and go, that piece of woodland in the UK will never be built on? And also, this Sunday, Phil's coming over. There's going to be 20 kids walking around the woods with Phil, looking at all the inverts and all the animals that's there, and learning as much as they can and finding out about nature at the same time. That would be something special.
Definitely. I'll be up for a bug hunt. Hey, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
Popped in and say hey. Only Pods has popped in and say hi. How you doing, Josh?
Only Pods is there. See, Josh did a talk at one of the shows.
There you go. As Flora and Fauna has worked in horticultural therapy for quite some time. Same kind of thing, very therapeutic.
Exactly.
Hey, Wendy. Wendy's just going to Scorpions. They are amazing. They absolutely are.
Oh yeah.
Love a Scorpion. So there you go. And just yeah, he did. It was great fun. Definitely would do again. There you go.
I mean, the only thing, just what I'm thinking about YouTube, it's like a lot of people that don't do YouTube don't realise like the amount of time it takes up, and the effort that goes into it, and the research that we do, and the time that's spent. That can take a bit of a toll.
Oh yeah, I mean,
you've got to remember, like, if I'm doing a video, because through the month of December, my videos are very sporadic at the moment through this December because I want to spend time with the kids. More important than anything. Back to normal in January. So in a normal month, every Sunday, without fail, I'm doing a video. So that's me doing a video from 8 o'clock at night, because that's when the kids go to bed. So that involves the wife putting those to bed. And then I'm doing a video, and then I'm editing it and all the rest of it. Then I'm uploading it. By the time it's finished, it's normally about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. The wife's asleep. So she's like, "Oh, I didn't see you Sunday. We didn't have any time at all." Monday, the premiere's out, so obviously 7 o'clock. I'm there on the premiere in the comments. Then we share it across Facebook. So there's about an hour on a Monday night that's disappeared. Tuesday would then be from about 7:30 to whenever I finish a live stream again, more time away from the family, and then on a Wednesday night filming for the Thursday. And then in between that, you've got messages coming across from subscribers, from maybe somebody wants to do a promo or something, or Lee's talking about an upcoming show, or WhatsApp groups going, or whatever. It can get very, very busy, and I'm just very, very lucky to have a very understanding wife. Put it that way.
Yeah, and this is the side of thing that people watching videos that they don't always see of. Like, you could have a 10-minute video, but that 10-minute video can take you 2-3 hours of work to do,
and the rest.
Yeah, sort of thing. But
to actually film and edit, that's the easy part. But to make sure your information is correct, to make sure you've got everything correct, that's where it takes the time.
Is it? And
sometimes some of my videos, I don't even know what I'm filming until 10 minutes before I start recording, and they're the ones that it's going to be like 2-3 o'clock in the morning by the time I'm finished.
And it's setting things up for it now. But when you first start, and to anyone, if you're thinking, "Oh, I'd like to start a channel," just start. Don't worry about equipment. Sort of thing, just start.
Yeah. I still use my phone.
Start going like, "Oh, I need to get lighting. Oh, I need to get audio. Oh, I need to get this." So setting all that up.
But the thing is, you don't need to get the audio.
You don't need to get audio. No, absolutely not.
A form of light that doesn't do the flickering when you put your camera on it will do. So, I have not got expensive lighting. The main light that I used was $9.99 off Amazon, and it's a little LED box about this big.
Yeah,
rechargeable.
This is it, and it's all you need as long as your phone hooks up to the internet and can film a video. Boom, you're away. My first videos, I'm sure, as with everyone else's, incredibly basic. Didn't have a light, didn't have a microphone, didn't have this at the other. Downloaded whatever editing app I could find that was probably free at the time or whatever. And yes, you got a watermark, but that doesn't matter. And stuff, and it's just put it out there.
I think to get your little mark or your style does take a long time. It just keep doing it until you're happy. It does take time.
And then eventually you find yourself spending hours doing a video.
There is dark sides to YouTube because you can get a lot of shit, and you can get literally other channels like giving you shit for no fucking reason, because you put yourself out there, you make yourself a target. Not just you, your family as well.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous. So for the last 2 years, religiously before a show, Tyra will get a phone call from an withheld number. Literally, some girl telling her that she's going to be spending the hotel with me and all this, that, and t'other. And Tyra's like, well, he's going up on the day. They did it for the commentary show. They were like, oh, yeah, he's got a hotel room. He's asked me to come along. And Tyra was like, we live in Coventry. But it's like I say, it's a bit full. That's been going on for 2 years. So it does have it straight. And I'm quite surprised somebody goes to all those lengths to do that. But when it comes to sound recordings, I've got quite a few saved. So, like I said to you, I am thinking about putting all together in a video and just saying, do you recognise this person? Yeah. And with that in eye, it shouldn't be too hard.
So it's the, like I said, the dark side of doing social media is that you open yourself up to abuse from all over the place, and from sometimes the most unlikeliest of people, or who you would think is the most unlikeliest of people, they're the ones that surprise you.
Oh my god, yeah.
You're like, what?
It's like, how do you respond to it? And for me, with my background, it's really difficult not to just go, fuck off, you dickhead, I'm coming to your house. Because that's from the homeless and the gangs and all the other stuff that I've done in my life. That's like the instinct is, who the fuck are you talking to? I really have to think it through and go, no, right, how do we have to... let's respond nicely. And sometimes that does take me a long time to find the words.
And you know, you might get, sometimes get a message and it'll pop through like, midnight or something. It's like, I'm not responding to messages at midnight, kind of thing, or whatever, unless it's my partner or my parents, or there's only certain people I'm going to respond to, after a certain time of night.
So, I have, because because of like the drug history and what have you, and the mental health, I still get messages at like 1, 2 in the morning. There was one where, obviously I'm not going to go into names, but the conversation was, I've just spoke to this person, they've done this, and then I've had to speak to somebody else to go, look, I don't give a fuck if you're a seller. This is happening. I've rang them up, woke them up out of bed. Literally, look, this is happening. I need their address and send an ambulance. Well, done. There's been times where I'm like 3 o'clock in the morning, somebody's in an absolute, drug crisis, and I've been chatting to them, calming them down from a high or maybe, or whatever it is, or just supporting people through mental health battles, maybe. But you've got to. You can't say no, can you? You just got to support.
What I mean is where I might get a message at midnight being like, have you got X available? Well, that can wait. But then,
yeah, of course it can.
But if I don't respond, to that straight away, it's why didn't you respond? Like, because you missed me at midnight about whether I've got
if somebody messages me at like 2 o'clock in the morning and I read it and it says something along the lines of, Scott, I gave up drugs 2 weeks ago, I'm having a huge craving, what the fuck do I do? I will literally stay there till that person is like near enough ready to go back to sleep again.
I mean, that's a sort of a different situation, sort of thing. But if
somebody messages me at 2 o'clock in the morning going, do you know on this video, 8 years ago, you said this? I'm like, yeah, I can't.
And actually, it's like, no, come on, sort of thing.
Yeah, but then people go do night shifts. People sleep at different times of the day, so you're going to get messages at all times of the day and night. That's just all part of it.
So, but I know, with some people that, where they've had that sort of thing of people messaging being like, well, how comes you didn't, I messaged about this video or about this thing or this show, how comes you didn't respond to me, within 5 minutes or whatever, and it's got to, it's actually got to their heads kind of thing and made their mental health tank, because
there was a point somebody was like, oh, I tagged Scott and he didn't respond, who does he think he is, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I shouldn't have to explain myself, but this was like back in in January when my dad had just got in the hospital with water infection, and at 78, he looked like he was going to fucking die. And I got a couple of dickheads literally on Facebook. Well, I thought they were dickheads at the time. Literally going, "Oh, he's not responding. Who does he think he is? He doesn't talk anymore." I asked him one question on a post, and he didn't reply. And it's like, things happen. You know, we can't be available 24/7, and some things are going to get missed. And at that time in my life, it was like, my dad's in hospital, I might fucking die. And then I had the whole incident this year where that water infection led to another one. It led to delirium, which then actually induced a dementia in his brain. And now, when that happened, he went to a care home. My brother went to pieces. My mum went to pieces. That had to be a rock there for both of them on the phones and all sorts. Go to and from care homes, as well as battling demons that were telling me this geezer used to kick the fuck out of you with a kid. Why are you bothering? I had so much going on in my mind from February all the way through the summer. You know, and then people go, "Oh, you didn't respond to this message." It's like, really? I shouldn't have to explain it all, but this is going on. You know, I do apologise. So I ended up putting like a post out on Facebook saying, like, you know, at the moment there's some things going on.
That's it. And I think, you know, it's always a minority, or at least you always hope it's a minority, but there's a minority of people that forget that, you know, those of us that do social media, our life doesn't revolve on social media, and we've all got lives outside of it. You got your family, you got the job, and it all takes time. And sometimes you just have to take time and sit down and be like, I'm just doing nothing for half hour, for an hour, for a day, or whatever.
And you can also take it out on one person by accident and not even realise what you've done.
Yeah.
And because you're on social media, you've done it on social media. Or maybe like in COVID, I lost a really good friend because I literally, in COVID, I had literally a mini kind of breakdown because I couldn't get out of the house, couldn't do nothing. So I literally just sitting in the bedroom all day long.
And minimal misfits as well. Do you find it easy to ignore the negative comments, or do they play it on your mind? I imagine you have to be pretty thick-skinned to be successful.
Yeah, it's the negative comments. Some of them can be quite funny because you just think you could have been a bit more critical, and you've just said something stupid there. Why didn't you just say this? And I don't delete them either. I just leave them there. I think I've highlighted a few, pinned them.
So, I mean, it's that thing. It comes with the territory. You do have to be a bit thick-skinned, and I think sometimes the first ones you get, you kind of like, oh no, and then you realise, no, it's just someone being stupid. Who cares?
What they don't realise is by being negative, it helps to push your video out by doing a comment, so it's all good.
Yeah.
And dislike works in the same way as a like does. So
there's all interaction and stuff. I mean, I had a reason. I mean, negative comments I get is very few and far between, and it's never anything all that much. And those one I got was on a short, I've done of me handling Taylor Swift Scorpion. I was like, well, bro thinks he's cool. And I was like, really? Is that all you got?
I would have commented back going, that's because bro is cool.
So,
who gives a shit?
Like,
the thing is, if I put a video out, right, and let's say Phil watched it, and Phil messaged me and gone, Scott, come on, mate, that video was fucking shit. That's the point where I'd go, oh fuck, I'll start listening. And that's only to like friends that would message or well-respected members of the community.
Yeah, yeah. Because if like I think I'm like, oh, that's not what you said is not right or something, I'm not going to put down the public comment. I'll literally be like, oh, Scott, you said this, but actually, it's this or whatever. And I've had that, come to me. Well, perhaps on video, and then someone's messaging me going, oh, Phil, you said this, but actually, it's this. And I'm like, okay.
You've got, I mean, this year, for me, just going back to the distractions, got obviously what went on with my dad, right? So he's obviously still in a care home, coming up to Christmas now, so my mum's still feeling it. So I've given her a phone call every single night, obviously. The care home's closed at the moment because the flu's going around the care homes, and Mum can't get to see him. But on top of that, you got the wife going, "Oh, can you give me a hand?" Oh no, it doesn't matter. And you can hear it, you can feel it. You know she needs a bit of support, and I'm making a fucking video. But on top of that, she's had at the start of the year what was. I mean, it wasn't, but at the start of the year we had confirmed heart attacks that the wife had because her heart rate had gone up to 182. It's since then it's now been diagnosed as a form of epilepsy. So the epilepsy induces the heart to go up to about 180, 182, 190 beats per minute. But back then, the doctors were saying she's had a heart attack. So I'm going to work, making videos, thinking the wife's going to fucking die tomorrow. My dad's in a care home. My mum's under that much stress she's going to die. My brother's just gone to fucking pieces. If you put on top of that, 2 neurodivergent children as well as who need your attention, who need time to be spent with them, and the school's going, especially with that, we're going, oh, we don't know what to do with him. He just doesn't sit still. He won't do as he's told. He just gets up and does his own thing. Leo's hit another child, and it's Leo's fault. And then you go to Leo, what happened, and he tells you he got bullied. We went to the teacher did nothing about it, so Leo finished it. So then you're going to the school going, well, if you'd done your job properly, my lad wouldn't have punched him. And fair play to him for doing it because he was getting bullied and you did nothing about it. So you have so much shit going on. And then people think that, oh yeah, well, you know, if you can do a post on Facebook, and then if I comment under it, why haven't you messaged back? And it's like, well, when I put the post up, nothing was happening. Everything was calm. And then you've commented and something, or somebody, or I've had a phone call with my mum and I've been left alone. I mean, my mum phoned me the other day because, and I really don't know how to feel about this, because she said, my real dad's twin brother, his ex-wife, she still talks to her. So she gone round, dropped a Christmas card in, and she said, oh, the ex-husband, Paul, has had a stroke. So my mum says, oh, I'm really sorry. And then she said, did you know Peter passed away a couple of days ago? Which is my dad. So my mum told me, and I'm left like, do you know what? I met him when I was 26. We stayed in contact for 3 months. He said to me, I was always phoning him, and he said, oh, I'll phone you on Monday. And he never did, so I left it. Now I've got so many unanswered questions. Like, because when I was a kid, being beaten up by my stepdad, I always imagined this superhero who's going to come in and save me, which was my real dad. And then I carried that into my adult life, thinking, I know I've fucked up loads, but, you know, my real dad at some point is going to come and bail me out. And then now he's dead, and it's like so many things are left like unanswered, and I really don't know how to deal with that at the
moment. Yeah, and it's as I said that there's probably not a huge amount of people that can even relate to that.
No. Let's just say the wife deals with a lot. Because I'm probably one of the most awkward people you ever meet to kind of live with. Because the ADHD can get me doing some mad stuff. And she just leaves me to it. Absolutely leaves me to it.
No.
I mean, we've gone into Tesco before now, gone round, got everything in the trolley, got to the tills, and I started having a panic attack, and we've had to leave the shopping in the trolley and fuck off home. And that's happened. And she never batters an eyelid, never says, oh, what'd you do that for? None of that. Just, okay, we can order it online, so fine.
Yeah, and as well, everyone needs someone like that in their lives, a partner that backs for them, and it's just their support. And it's, I think, okay, this is just what you need right now, kind of thing.
But then the wife's like, oh, we need to spend some more time together. We need some more of us time and do all the lovey-dovey stuff. My ADHD brain says, I told you I love you. You know I love you. So why do I have to say it all the time? So you have to try. I'm also trying to understand like that part of things as well. It's yeah.
Hey, husband.
Yes, Osmeister.
So, well, coming to the end of 2025, beginning of 2026. I mean, the channel's grown even more in 2025. And so, what's sort of next on the horizon for 2026?
I'm just grateful for where I am now and for everybody's supporting. I don't know. I'm not one of these people. Although, because of like, I've got over 10k subs, let's say. Because of that, you might assume that I'm chasing numbers and figures. I don't. I'm just going to carry on in 26, doing more of the same. I want to try and get more giveaways done, give back more to the community than I did in this year. So I want to try and pull some favours, or I say favours, pull some strings with some of the sellers that I know, hopefully, to do some more giveaways through 2026. There's going to be a lot more visits, hopefully, in 2026. Get some of that done. If the channel stays the same and doesn't increase in figures, I will still be here in 2027, being just as happy with everything that's going on. For me, the people like Osmeister, every single live Osmond pops in. And it's those people that mean the absolute world. I've had people messaging going, "Oh, I'm just watching you from work." And it's like, what the fuck? You're going to get yourself sacked, mate. Just that support is all, is literally everything. But in 26, yeah, I've got some mad ideas. Whether they come to play financially or not is probably another story. There is some crazy interviews coming up. I have been invited to 2 amazing places, Tim's being one. So we are going to be doing that. But yeah, just more of the same kind of thing. There's hopefully Christmas 2026, there'll be another giveaway like we're doing at the end of this year. It's literally my favourite stream to do is the Christmas Day giveaway. We've got so much stuff with that we're dropping out and giving away. I mean, we've got like just off the top of my head, Transfantastics enclosure, one of his hand-built enclosures, right up to 20 quid in your PayPal and an Uber Eats voucher. So if you've not had Christmas dinner, you can just order yourself one. It's just that type of support, like on the Christmas Day giveaway, where people just go, "Yeah, I'll give this." It is phenomenal because what subscribers and what people that watch see is, "Oh, there's £100 mystery box from Unusual Pets," and it's like, yeah, there is, but and they don't think anything else, and it's like, but that costs Leah and Terry money and time to do, to box up, send off, and they're paying for the postage and the packaging on top of that. So for people just to go, yeah, I'll support it, is crazy. And she's doing like £100 mystery box, and then there's I think there's a 51 and some smaller ones. And it's just Christmas Day giveaway, man. I love it. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Hopefully, Dave's Little Beasties is going to come on half pissed. Luke from Spar Spiders is going to join half pissed. Mark the Spider Guy's got the link. You'll have the link. Leo, I think I might have sent it to Leo already. I can't remember. We've got 8-Legged Emporium is going to join us from Italy because he's spending Christmas with his fiance's family. So that type of support is just you just can't buy that support. So Christmas Day giveaway, man, is like brilliant.
Yeah, it's always a good fun stream to watch and stuff, and it's, I mean, like, you do it for people that might be sat there by themselves or bored or whatever, and it's just, people tune in like, there's a whole bunch of people here. I can feel some sort of company. We can take part in stuff. And
so while the Christmas giveaway is going on, which is 6 p.m. Christmas Day onwards. So again, the wife's gone, okay, it's Christmas Day, but yeah, sure. Osmo Star travelling to the UK when the Christmas stream is on, so hopefully he can join later on. So that man's travelling 9.5 hours in his car, and then we'll if he's got to his destination in time, we'll then put the stream on. Not rest, not go. Actually, I need an hour's kip or something after all that travelling. That's crazy.
Yeah, and Osmond's one of those. We can always use names like him, Bastion, and Trond when it comes back to the shows. When people moan about traveling to shows, it's like, wait a minute, Osmond, Trond, Bastion, they come from completely different countries. And
Jamie, when she comes to him as well.
Yeah, yeah. Traveling for like I say 9 hours or whatever to get to a show, sort of thing. People moan about traveling an hour, and it's like, come on. If a show's an hour away from you, that's local. That's sort of thing. But you always get that, and yeah, coming over.
I always think if you want to get to a show, you're going to get to it.
Yeah.
If you've got transport and you're whinging that it's an hour and a half away from your house, you just don't want to go.
No, that's it.
Hey, mate. I've got 100 quid, but it's going to cost me 40 in fuel. You're going to be able to buy some decent stuff for 60 quid at an invert show.
Yeah, and okay, even if you don't have transport to get to a show, if you put it up on a group, chances are someone will give you a lift. Always someone will go, yeah, I'll give you a lift to it. So there's always ways to get to a show, sort of thing, wherever it is in the country.
In the WhatsApp group, we tend to do a post like, where people travelling from to, have you got a spare seat? I'll keep talking to Lee about setting up a Facebook group as opposed just to the page. So then you can literally go, look, I'm travelling from here, and show a picture of the route and go, look, if you live part along this route, drop me a message. I've got a spare chair in the car, contribute to the fuel, and we both go. Driver gets somebody to talk to on the way, or worst case scenario, they make a new friend in the hobby that encourages them to buy more spiders.
That's it. Which is what it's all about.
Yeah. Obviously, when you do car share with a stranger, that risk is there's always a risk, and that is on you, unfortunately. But if they've got a Facebook profile and it's been going for a few years, well, I suppose you can look at that a little bit, but yeah.
So, I think, the social media side of things, the community side of things, is something that you've certainly built up over the years in terms of Scott's Inverts. You've got Scott's Inverts Army. You're on Facebook, the Facebook group. You got the WhatsApp group as well, and stuff. So you got a lot of things where people do just meet each other through it and stuff. And so, which is, I've met so many people through both of those over the years.
It's a double-edged sword because, again, over the years we've had issues with the odd person, and I always think, don't tell me that this person is this, and this. I feel not experienced with that type of behaviour with myself. Generally, if somebody comes to the WhatsApp group and maybe they've been classed as like a shit stirrer or something, you don't really experience that in the WhatsApp group. It's suddenly like well behaved because it's like zero drama in there and all the rest of it. I think one of the biggest issues I've ever had in the hobby, in the community, was Robbie. So I exposed him, and I can say this because I've still got screenshots and all the rest of it, so it's not slander. And plus, I didn't specify which Robbie, but there was somebody in the hobby that was sending dick pics to women and videos and stuff like this. But the women he was choosing was women that were going through issues at the time, and he kind of, to me, it looked like it was his thing to try and get the okay from them. And, you know, these were some of the women he was sending it to. One of them, their husband was literally in hospital dying, and things like that. So he literally handpicked who he could do it to. And I thought, fuck this shit. We exposed him everywhere. But he's been the worst one. And then Crawley's Creepers, he was a bit of a knob, upset a few people. So I confronted him. Yeah. That's been the two people in the 7 years, 8 years of the community that we've ever had like serious issues with. I've had issues, but nothing that can't be resolved in a quick PM.
Yeah, unfortunately, every community there's going to be bad eggs. In every community, there's going to be some real bad eggs.
But the thing is, a bad egg, right? If you nurture it, they become a good egg. And I know this because I was a complete arsehole in a past life. But if you're shown the right direction, then sometimes you hate the world for the wrong reasons, and you just need to be shown that you hate the world for the wrong reasons. It's actually a nice place. So I'm also a big believer in second chances where you can.
Yeah, just unfortunately, some are rotten eggs is probably a better way.
Yeah,
a couple of rotten eggs.
A sexual predator, a sexual predator, and yeah,
and you kind of, and then I think sometimes one of the unfortunate things sometimes where it's just where you get a large group of people is that not everyone's going to get along, and that's fine because not everyone is going to get along because we're humans.
You don't have to get on with everybody, but there's no reason if me and you are arguing. There's no reason me and you can be in the same group chat together.
Yeah,
we just keep that difference apart from each other. We can both support somebody, as well as, there's nothing wrong with it. Or I can have a friend that you might not like. So what?
Yeah.
Or you might have a friend that I might not like, but we're friends. So what's the problem?
That's it, and that's just where, again, you sometimes get the negative side of it. We're creeping in where people are like, "Well, that person's in, and I don't like that person." It's like, it doesn't matter. Don't interact with that person. Sort of thing.
Just chat to the rest.
Sort of thing. It doesn't matter about that.
And you usually find, as both of them start commenting, sooner or later they do comment to each other, and then a week or two down the line, you find that they chat to each other and they like each other, and that's that. Because we go off a lot of the time when we make an opinion of somebody. A lot of the things we do is listen to somebody else instead of make up our own mind. And then the second thing we do is go, "Oh, that person upset me the first time I met them because they did this. It's something stupid. Therefore, you hate them on every level." And it's like, take a step back and reapproach it, and you'll probably find that you like them and they're a nice person.
Yeah. There you go. Similar interests, especially when it comes to the inverts, might even have actually a similar frame of mind.
Well, somebody's, there's probably a trait of yours, Phil, that I'd think, what the fuck are you doing? I hate it. But there's probably something that I do that you'll think the same. Are we going to argue about it? No. because it's just like, one of the things I've learned in life is life flies by and it disappears very, very quickly, and we're dead a lot longer than what we're alive. So, why spend so much time arguing when we can all just be friends? Sounds like a cliche, but it's true.
Yeah. And you just
I've seen some of the most forgiving people in this hobby as well.
Yeah. And I just put this on group chats with people she doesn't get on with, ain't going to leave because of one person. Yeah, absolutely. And you just get that sometimes. I mean, see it sometimes within training hours. Look, I haven't really seen a huge amount recently, but sometimes someone who's fairly new to fracture training comes out, and just suddenly all people will just start slanging them for whatever reason. And it's like,
God.
What are you doing?
I've got no interest in that type of stuff. I've got no interest in 5 years ago that bloke did this. Who gives a fuck?
yeah, this brand new trade and all their stuff's wild caught. Well, so is so and so, and you can buy from them.
But but what's wrong with wild caught? That's the issue. If the species is in like, on the brink of extinction or on CITES, then yeah. But if the government leaders who go into the wild and do all the sampling and all the rest of it say there is more than enough sustainable spiders of this species for us to take 100, then that's completely fine.
But
I don't get it because it's almost hypocritical. Because where do you stop?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But as I'm going back a few years, I last saw that kind of really happen, and that's basically drove that seller out of it. He decided not to do it anymore because everyone was just they didn't give him a chance for some reason, and it was like
you got to. I mean, you know yourself, you can't just import any spider into the UK.
No.
So the ones that are wild caught that are coming into the UK, it's like they're legally able to, and I fully understand captive breeding, and if we can go for captive breeding over wild caught, we should. Not everybody wants a sling. Not everybody wants a grown on sling. Some people do want the adults, which unfortunately generally are normally wild caught because you also don't want a sling that's going to take 15, 20 years to grow to an adult. I understand all that 100%. That's why I think sometimes I don't think we need to import at the level that we are with wild caught. That's for sure.
The thing is, with wild caught, it can actually be a real good tool for conservation. And a lot of people don't even realise that actually can be a positive. Because we just think wild caught is just taken from the wild and nothing but taken from the wild. But I don't then see that actually potentially, as long as it's done sustainably, the money spent on those ones being taken from, if it's being done the right way, that's going to the local people that are catching those spiders or beetles or centipedes or squirrels, whatever it is. That and then go, oh, there's a monetary value to the habitat being here, and these being here. I need to then protect this for my income, and therefore actually then down the road protects the species long term because the people catching them want them to always be there.
Exactly.
And actually, something that gets done within the aquarium trade a lot, and sometimes it's perhaps even species where it's actually all these ones that we're catching and eventually they're actually doomed to basically to fatality before being caught anyway. And so like just through whatever's happening out there through natural causes or whatever. So it's like, well, actually, we'll take these out and then send them to the trade. And so that can, again, the money can be put back into the habitat and into the local people, and it can really improve things. There's a colleague of mine went to, within the zoo industry, went to a conference, and there was someone from the aquatic side of things talking about wild caught. I was like, well, actually, all these fish that you'll see in public aquariums and in the aquarium trade are all wild caught. But actually, all these fish that are coming over and being wild caught wouldn't actually be alive now if they weren't, because they would have all, because of whatever happens out there happens, and they'll end up. It is a fatal thing, and it can be a fairly natural thing. But actually, taking out a percentage is then actually actively funding a conservation project out there. So it's like there's actually more in the wild now than there was before they started catching them from the wild.
It would be good to see things like that publicised more when it happens. The only thing I can relate that to is like coffee. So with coffee, it will tell you it's sourced from an area. It will tell you that the money goes back. You can see where the money that you're spending is actually going back to. It would be great if we could get something like that for maybe at least one small area of the globe where we're getting wild caught species from. That would be pretty epic. But I mean, obviously, there's a lot of LPs in the hobby. We don't need any of those wild caught. The common stuff we have a lot in the hobby, but a lot of the common stuff is common in our hobby. But there's a lot of spiders out there that aren't common in our hobby, but they are common in the wild as well.
Yep.
They're just not common in our hobby yet. So when you look at wild caught, you think, oh, that's a new species. There's 400 of them in the country. Fucking hell, people start complaining and whinging. It's like, yeah, there's 400 that's been caught from the wild, but there's 5 million out there. They've just never been in the UK before.
Yeah. Yeah. And, in the wider scheme of things, when you look at all inverts, things like giant armor crickets, vast majority of those, very few have been captive bred anywhere in the world. But in the wild, they're deemed a pest. And so actually a lot of them get sprayed with pesticides and stuff all the time out in the wild. They're being trapped and stuff. So it said, well, actually, look, here's some money. Don't spray the pesticides, and we'll take them.
Just going back to our previous conversation about like what Tara has to put up with. So our little one went to bed at 8:00. He's seen a paediatrician, so he's on a melatonin tablet because the liquid's not strong enough. She's just come downstairs because he fell asleep 10 minutes ago after just over 2 hours.
Oof.
Of jumping around. Yeah, crazy. So if you can imagine that Tara's doing that like on a nightly basis, and then on a Sunday night she's doing that because I'm filming for Monday. Monday night I've got the premiere, and then I'm working on like trying to get it advertised here, there, and everywhere. And then on the Tuesday night you do a live. On a Wednesday night you're filming again for the Thursday. At least Friday, Saturday.
Hey Bailey. It's
Bailey in chat.
Yeah, he's just joined the chat.
Bailey has been there like supporting way before majority of others, to be honest. Before YouTube, everything. Way back we if there was a true spider that we both wanted and there was 2 for sale, I'd buy one, send him one, or vice versa. He's financially supported for 7 years. Such a nice bloke, so enthusiastic about the true spider hobby as well, and photography. In fact, there's a live stream that I did on Facebook, which is me and Bailey, Andrew, is literally setting up my camera for me over a live stream. The photo one. So we just left it up there just in case anybody else wanted to have a look.
Yeah, no, but Andrew's one of those people that, especially, it's mainly the northern shows that you might see him at. It's always a pleasure to see him. He's old school. Yeah, we'll do a macro collab.
Mate, his photography is just another level.
Yeah, thanks.
Also proves to me with the stuff that I had that you don't have to spend £10,000 on a camera. You're not going to get outpriced out of photography. You can buy second-hand stuff for about 100, 150 quid and still produce some real wicked pictures.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what?
Yeah, going to highlight. Amy says she's looking forward to shows next year. She's looking forward to a year of breeding all the pairs she has. I did surprise her yesterday with an early Christmas present.
Bailey said just buy a camera second hand, only issue is the lens fungus. But then there's a photography chat in the WhatsApp group, so by chatting to like somebody like Bailey, you know what you're looking for when you look at a lens.
I actually love to be not scared of spiders. No, I would say no. I never was, so I can't necessarily relate to that. But I do find a lot of people within the arachnid hobby, within transgender keeping hobby, a lot start off arachnophobic. A lot start off with a fear of them and stuff, and then work on getting over that. There's different ways and different methods work for different people. Remember Matthew, a good friend of mine, the customer aquaria. He had years ago a customer not asked for a tank. It was that's standard. And then I was like, oh, can you set it up for me for a particular spider? Yeah, we can do a set, full setup. All done up, ready. And I was like, oh, can you also source the spider and put the spider in for me? And I was like,
yep.
Well, I was like, well, we can do, but I don't normally do that. sort of thing. And then when I come and pick it up, I want to come pick it up. But can you bring it out to my car wrapped up in the towel because I'm scared of them? Sort of thing. And it's all like, well, we can, but it's quite the regular practice. But okay, sort of thing. And then it's like, can I ring you up every week and tell you how I'm doing? It was like, okay, yeah, if you want to do that, that's fine. We can do that. And then after a few months, he was like, oh, I it was like the first couple of days. Well, I just took the towel for a little bit and had a look, and then I put the towel. Like, well done. And then eventually, it was like, oh, I opened the lid and I put some water in. Oh, well done. Well, I just fed it. Oh, well done. And then he said after maybe a month or so, he then rang Matthew back up again. We're like, can I put an order in for 20 tanks, please? And he's like, you what? He's like, yeah, I'm good now. I've just ordered 20 sliders.
Brilliant. A lot of people don't know I was scared to death of centipedes before I bought my first one, to the point where, a couple of friends would send me a picture of a centipede on my inbox on Facebook, and then Tara would have to delete the picture for me. And in the end, that first BTS show, I just bought one. I went, fuck it. And I remember picking it up. It was quite warm that day, so I ran to the van, put it on the passenger seat, and then ran back into BTS and went, what the fuck have I just done? And then, but it's like the spiders, but once you get the animal that you're scared of, and you've got to start researching it, you've got to start looking after it, you've got to start giving it the food, the water, suddenly it doesn't become as scary. Suddenly that scariness disappears, and you get that deep understanding. You watch it do, you watch that predator run around the enclosure after food and all the rest of it, and then suddenly that fear starts to disappear and that interest builds. That is awesome stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I'm just letting everyone know that I got her a breeding pair of a Phonopalma Hensi.
Awesome.
Which she knew nothing about. I kept out a good secret, I did.
I'm not breeding at all in 2026. Just purely because if I bred, let's say if I bred an OBT, I bred Valfori, bred something else, that's a lot of slings. I don't think I've got time. Just with what's going on, so I don't want to add to that mix and put spiders' lives at risk.
Yeah, and
I can cope quite happily with what I've got. I could probably cope with an extra 100, but when you start looking at several hundred or 400-500 with the slings, it'd be like, nah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So even though maybe a lot of people kind of expect, you do YouTube, so you should be breeding spiders. No, not necessarily. I'd rather look at what I'm capable of doing and what I'm not capable of doing.
I mean, the breeding of stuff isn't for everyone anyway, because it's that thing, whether it's spiders, whether it's scorpions, whatever, you can end up with a lot of babies relatively quickly when you think about it.
And you also need
that time. It's like, where do I find that time for that?
Before you even breed, you should think, okay, so if I'm going to breed, let's say an LP. So the classic for an LP is maximum 3,000 slings. So you've got to think,
at a low estimate, 1,000 is still a lot.
Well, let's say 1,000. So let's say you do a breeding project, 1,000 slings. But before you even start that breeding project, you've got to think, if I've got 1,000 slings of this species, what am I going to do with them? Where are they going to go?
Yeah.
Will people buy them? Will I have to give them away? Can I trade them? Do I know sellers? Can I do what I want to do with these? Am I going to keep every single one and grow them all up onto adults and then sell them? What's the plan for them? Then once you've discovered, I can sell them down this avenue, 100% guaranteed, then you should be like, yes, now I'm going to pair them. And as soon as you paired them, you should be thinking, what am I going to do when I get the egg sac? What temperature does that egg sac need to be at? Do I need to do a seasonal change for her to drop the sac? And then when the slings come, literally you should have the pots ready and waiting for them. There is a lot of process to think about. But the end being, if I've got my tarantula collection going on, have I got another 2 hours a week to feed 200 spiders, 200 slings? Do I want to feed slings? Would I rather be feeding the adults? Yep. Everybody would rather feed larger spiders than slings. It's just, easier. So there's a bit to consider before you just chuck 2 spiders together and expect to be a millionaire.
That's it. And when you've got breed something like that, and you've got that amount of babies or whatever, you've either got to be selling them in bulk very cheaply to the sellers, or be prepared that you're going to be sitting on those for a while.
I think my advice would be is contact, if you've got, let's say if you do a breeding project, make sure you take a decent picture of the female and the male, and then you can show sellers straight away, this is the male, this is the female. So then they can then look and go, yep, these babies are going to be what you say they are. Take them, message sellers before a show and say, look, if I bring 200 Balfouris, can I have this off the table? What can we swap them for? That type of thing. And then what you can end up with doing is swapping the babies for another adult pair. Or that one spider that costs a lot of money that you can't normally afford, but on a trade deal, you can get it.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of traders that will trade for things. So
I think one of the last ones I did was the Soulpates at Myrnia. Remember that one because I bred those and I gave them to Luke. And I said it's for any supporting subscriber that just says, yeah, I want one. Just give it to them. We did the Amazonias Germani, but we sold those to Dave. Lear had some, Portsmouth Tarantulas had some. But I took the brave step in literally contacting a few people, so I knew most of them were sold, and then I took the rest as one of those because we did the exchange at the show. But I took the rest to a show, which was a bit of a gamble because there's a lot of slings to be taken to a show, possibly. But luckily, nobody was really breeding Amazonias Germani at the time, so we managed to sell all of them.
As in, it's sometimes, when people ask me, like, what things should I be looking at breeding, or what things going, it's like, don't necessarily look at what's popular now. Think of what you like and what you want to breed. Because what's popular now, next year may not be popular.
Keep it realistic, because if you're going to pair curly hairs, you're going to be selling them for about 10p a sling, or you're going to be giving them away for free.
Yeah.
But if you do something like Dolichitheli Diamantinensis, you can up the price, obviously.
As Thompson says, may see you at Bristol. Bristol one, we're going there, and Taunton one. I'll be at both, and I believe you'll be at both, Scott.
Yeah, Taunton and Bristol. The only one I'm not doing is Glasgow.
Yeah, I think that's the only one. I haven't booked Glasgow. I don't know if it's probably has sold out now. I was one. I want to do it one year, but eventually I'll get up there. But otherwise, doing all the other 8 Inverts Shows UK shows.
It just means a night away. So that then puts my costs right through the roof with the hotel, petrol, and all the rest of it. It's just like that.
Yeah.
Plus, it's nice to have a month where you don't, because Glasgow is so far away. It is financially, it's a nice month.
Average support fees around 50 to 100 things a week. Going to be a lot more next year.
And I think Glasgow's in August as well, isn't it? So
it is, yeah. Glasgow's in August.
I mean, because the boys are the way they are, so it's very difficult to have a full holiday. So we did do like what we did this year. So every day for a week, we'll go somewhere. So we'll go to a zoo, or we'll go to the Sea Life Centre, and then the next day we'll do something else, and it costs money. So it is quite handy going. I'm not going to Glasgow that month, unfortunately.
August is an expensive month for me because I go to a festival every August. Oh, that's always
Yeah, but you do YouTube, so you must be loaded.
yeah. If only. If only.
Oh no, right? I mean, just to have StreamYard is what? Is it 25, 30 quid a month?
It's about 35 quid a month now.
It's 35. Yeah.
Something like that.
And then you got your Coin Master, Canva,
So, I mean, in terms of things
any
that I
music
pay
rights
for,
one that you pay.
for social media, I pay for StreamYard, which is like 35, roughly 35 a month. Canva, what, $10.99 a month. I use Power Director, which I can't remember how much that was for. I pay that yearly. That's about, I think that's about 25 quid for the year.
I do Canva, I do StreamYard, I do Coin Master, and then I do 2 music sites as well, monthly.
And stuff. It's like it all adds up. I think you don't need to have any of this to do YouTube, apart from
To be honest, a lot of that is covered with the channel membership. That's why I'm very grateful to the channel members that we've got.
Yeah. and it's with anything, I don't use any music sites at all. I don't like it. I just use YouTube Music Library nowadays, and so just to avoid any copyright issues.
Yeah,
kind of thing. Because I've had some of the older videos where I've used copyright free music from other places, and then suddenly it's copyrighted.
I've had that this year. It's not been a copyright strike. It's just said your video is no longer able to be monetized.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah, great.
I did have one that
no skin off your nose because generally a video is only going to make you about 10p.
Yeah,
I had one
that issued a strike.
Oh shit!
It went from royalty free to suddenly, look, this is now copyrighted and we're issuing you a strike. and I was like, whoa, what the hell? and got the warning, another 2 and your channel's gone. Kind of thing.
Scary, isn't it?
And that's when I was like, okay, I'll start using YouTube Music Library to avoid all that.
People have said to me, "Oh, what would you do if you ever lost your channel?" Like, start another one. Enough. Just start another one.
It's one of the. But in terms of YouTube, I get monetized, but I don't get paid every month. I don't meet the threshold every month. I might meet it roughly every 2 months.
60 quid, isn't it? The threshold.
Yeah. And so it might take me, I might just about reach over that by the time I've done, every 2 months I'll get a little bit.
I mean, I wanted to do more channel member videos this year, but I obviously have to. I think I explained what I can't earlier in the video or earlier in the stream, but difficult.
Yeah, I mean, we're not doing this to get rich because that takes a lot. And if you're doing it,
let's face it,
probably going to go down a dark hole very quickly.
I think the times of a spider video goes viral is probably long gone, and this isn't the platform really to be setting up thinking that you're going to be a millionaire overnight. If you want to kind of do stuff like that, it's TikTok, Instagram,
and even then, it's still.
I've stopped doing stuff on TikTok because I'm fed up of fucking seeing pokies being handled every 2 minutes, and don't want to be associated with a platform like that.
But again, it's a hard side, and I do TikTok still and Instagram stuff, and it's if you're doing anything, slightly educational, it's a slow growth.
Yeah, but if you've got your tits half dangling out, suddenly you'll get 1 million views. And then also on TikTok,
just like say holding a pokey and be like, oh my god, I'm holding I'm not even the most dangerous tracker in the world, kind of thing, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, exactly. There's a lot of bullshit over there. But one of the things that I don't like is there's American channels which will put one invert fighting another one on TikTok. You report it, and fuck all happens. And it's like, it's fucking animal abuse. I'm not being associated with a platform that allows animal abuse like that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, stuff like that goes on everywhere. I've seen a lot of that on YouTube as well and stuff, and worse and stuff. And it's all because, different country laws. I mean, I've seen, on this platform, someone putting a live where people have been feeding like live leopard geckos to their snakes and stuff. What the hell are you doing?
And TikTok, it's like, it's very easy to gain followers. And then once people gain, like, I don't know, 30, 40,000, they change as people.
Yep.
And it's like, you were so nice, such a lovely person when you only had 1,000 followers, but now you think yeah. There is some great channels over there, don't get me wrong, there is some wonderful people with some wonderful channels, but I think TikTok's just not for me anymore.
So, on regards of breeding, Amy said training that shows does make it easier regarding breeding spiders, but we always have a few bulks as trade buyers lined up with each pair, and that she does. Yep, that's it. When me and Amy have anything that we want to pair, or even though it's like, got the shows that I trade, I've got the website that I sell on, and then it's always go to various people, whether that be Luke, whether that be various shops around us. Oh, we're planning to breed this. Would you be interested?
But I mean, if somebody come to you and said, "Look, I've got 200, Balfours. You got a couple of spiders. Would you do a trade?" You can do that because one, if you can't get rid of all at a show, then you know other people that you can pass them on to, and still do what you got to do.
That's it. And Josh has put Glasgow. He's going to do this year, but probably not again, just because so far train alone is like £200.
That's up to the Scottish show, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So he's about an hour from me. He's not that far from me. So yeah, £200 just to do the show. It's as well as like a day travelling there and a day travelling back.
Ask Luke and Jeremy how much they spend at the Scottish show because they go up on the Thursday.
Yeah. Go down to
I could not turn around to Tara and go, Scottish show, I need £1,000, one for travel there about, 2 for hotels, and 3 to get, do what I've got to do, and then money for the Sunday, just
as before, literally just paired curly hairs with the plan to give them away to schools in the future. There's a market for these though because they're true Nicaraguans, not hybrids. See, that's fantastic as well. Like that plan of going around to schools and going, here you go, have some spiders. Have some spiders.
That's a brilliant idea.
Love that.
Oh, Josh says, StreamYard's £35. Is there a reason to use it over the free stuff? Yes, because £35 you can stream in HD. It's very easy when you want to invite guests as well. A lot of the free stuff isn't, and a lot of the free stuff isn't HD as well.
Yeah, you also got little perks. So like I can do obviously the video at the beginning and at the end kind of thing. So you don't have to like the awkward and waiting for the stream to finish. You can have your branding on it. You have your logo on it. So
and it's very, very simple to use.
It is. I know. I think Tron found a different one that would have been cheaper, but I'm pretty sure Leo and Mark tried to work and it just didn't do anything. They ended up having to use StreamYard those times anyway. In the end, StreamYard just works.
Yep,
doesn't it?
StreamYard allows you to stream before you've got 1,000 subscribers as well.
Yeah, it's a very, very simple process. So you kind of end up. It's one of those things. Every now and then, I feel like, oh, do I really want to be paying all this money for it? But then it's like, oh no, because I'll miss this, and this from it.
And sometimes it is a bit of a case of it works, so don't fix it.
Yeah, that's it.
And what a lot of people like is consistency. And StreamYard is set up however you want it, and will look the same the following week and the following week and the following week.
That's it. And then Josh again on copyrights. Is it last stream that Josh had over 200 copyright warnings? I'm guessing he must have been playing music or something.
Yeah, you're well beyond the chat.
Yeah, probably am.
We've got redoing my racket over Christmas, says Bailey. Clan of Critters, hate TikTok. Every day I see what it does to our kids. It's disgusting, and the platform should be ashamed and banned. I'm with you, dude. Alan agrees. Inverted Bob, Rob, he agrees, as well as Juice goes on to say, okay, nice, no, makes sense. Was just wondering, not something I used before. I think that's referring to the platforms again.
StreamYard. Yeah.
Osman's talking about what was spoke about in the comments earlier. How can one tell if a true form without going there and actually catching a pair? I always find it hard to believe. People will always tell it's true because they're worth more, probably, but it may vary. While numerous generations paired in captivity. That's true. But Osman, if you go to somebody like Luke that knows what they're looking at, you're almost guaranteed. If you go to a seller that you know personally, and you know that they've actually gone to a taxonomist for the recommendation for that spider as well.
And then you want to go. Now just put his pair both wild caught, so that come from Nicaragua. But you got for many years there was just the hobby form, the hybrids that were out there.
They're still out there. It's fucking. It's like still out there. It's like why? Why?
I've seen adult pairs available. Admittedly they were labelled hobby form. And it's like, no one bought them. And it's like, I wonder why. No one wants that anymore.
Yeah, buy the hobby form, but don't read them.
And it wasn't until they started bringing them over from Nicaragua and being like, these are true Nicaraguan hurdy hairs from the wild.
And it's difficult to explain to reptile only keepers as to why we don't crossbreed to try and make different types of tarantula as well.
The problem we've got is in the States, it's happening in other inverts, is people are actively hybridizing. Saw the other day that someone's made a tri-way hybrid of a cockroach. 3 species of hissing cockroach hybrid.
Yeah, I saw that white one.
Yeah, well, that was the sort of a newly malted nymph of it. I love Gav Thompson. What are you doing?
But have you got the Yeti isopods?
So it's just sort of like, this is the first one. I was like, wait a minute, it's like, I've still got the pure ones and stuff. It's like, well, why are you producing 3-way hybrid cockroaches for? So but it unfortunately it does happen. So but like I said, when buying stuff, if something's labeled up, if you know that there's hybrids do exist, as other than there's also the true ones within the hobby, respectable sellers will tell you. Like spiders will certainly tell you straight away.
Luke would not have hobby form. I'd be highly surprised if Luke even has the slightest doubt about a spider before he pairs it. It's off to a taxonomist for inspection at a show.
Yeah, and others do the same as well. I know when they get stuff in, they often get it seen by Ray Gable just to confirm everything.
Ray identifies all their stuff, yeah.
sort of thing. And same scorpions is Dib can confirm that this is what we think it is.
Yeah.
So
And,
and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
So, and this thing, there's always things that we can look at that. Whether that's not someone that's been really in the hobby for a long time and has read things that can tell certain indicators on things. Because unfortunately, we still say within scorpions of Asian forest scorpions being sold as emperors. So,
but if you don't know anybody, you can pay that emperor price for an Asian forest scorpion.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even about the price. It's about buying a scorpion that's not the scorpion that you think it is because the seller's told you it is.
Yeah, this is it. So, and yeah, and we still see that. Yeah, did the same, but then
Exactly what Osmond says down there.
Yeah, Luke will not have anything on this side that he's in any doubt of.
No.
At all. So I'm the same as well. Like I wouldn't have anything on my tables that I'm in any doubt of. In terms of stuff, I like to know what everything I've got is. So,
that's the difference between somebody that's in it for as much cash as they can get and genuine sellers.
Yeah, there's even times when got stuff and even questioned things because I've bought off Luke before and even gone like, Luke, are you sure about this? And somebody's like, oh yeah. And it's because sometimes the wrong labels have been on it on stuff, and it's like, bought Bolgan and was like, oh, it says this, and then he's like reassured, and then like later on, it's like, oh yeah, no, you were right, sort of thing. So just because the wrong label was put on it.
That Luke's rarely fucking wrong, is that man?
Oh yeah. And so, and it was an old reused sling vial that the old label hadn't been taken off. Stuff, so it said a completely different species. I was like, just want to make sure that it didn't slip in.
I think one of my bugbears when people like label spiders is when they'll put LP or they'll write something on it, and you think, especially in the mystery boxes, and you think, the fuck does that say? You shouldn't have to message them to ask them. You should say it perfectly. And there really isn't an excuse.
Yeah.
You buy something off Luke, clearly labelled. You buy something off TSS, clearly labelled. Some others, it's just like scribbled on, and you think, what the fuck? What is it?
And that's why one of the best things I ever got for my table was a label printer.
Yeah, label maker.
A little tiny label that connects to my phone via Bluetooth and stuff. I think because my handwriting is terrible. So at least with a label printer, it's clear what it is, and so it's so much easier than writing it out as well. So,
Phil, I'll be back in 2 seconds. Just go to the toilet.
All right. So that's what we bought an adult female Hamori not long ago. I'm pretty sure she is a hybrid. Messed up my breeding because the male passed before. I've got another lined up. Yeah, there's only a few bracket hybrids out there that people don't necessarily know about. So one of the reasons that there's not much of a stuff within zoos is that don't consider a lot of them don't consider pure enough. So the same goes for the pokies. Actually, we don't consider most of those pure enough. So for it. As well, last band for Beatus, but genus is so messed up. Again, I'm a lot. I think Panther Beatus is messed up. Come out spiders, centipedes. Scolopendra, Dahani, and Suspinipes. There's so many that fall under those names that could easily be different. Same with a lot of the isopods. So, that's where you get stuff that is just labeled as species something. It means it's not been described. And there's potentially a lot of things out there that are perhaps sold as separate species but are the same, and things that are sold as the same that are separate. I've actually even had that within scorpions as well. There was a couple of species of scorpion that got put taxonomically got put together as one species and then resplit. So there's potential hybrids out there because of taxonomy. So even taxonomists don't always get it right. And yeah, there was a time I think it was Heterometrus cimarrani and Heterometrus minotaurus got put together as Heterometrus levigatus or Leviticus, and then they got resplit back to Heterometrus cimarrani and Heterometrus minotaurus. Now I've got that is labelled up as Heterometrus levigatus because that's how it came at the time, and that's what was around at the time. Potentially it's a hybrid, and potentially just levigatus is potentially a hybrid. But there's also a paper that says that all three exist in the wild. As that, who knows? It gets really, really confusing. And sometimes you get species that look very, very similar to each other.
Hello.
Oh,
I needed that week for about half an hour.
You blame me. I normally end at 10, but we've gone well over that. So you can but we'll start drawing to a close now because it's just notice the time. It's nearly 11.
Yeah, nearly 11 o'clock.
And do have work tomorrow, and then we're doing this again tomorrow on your channel.
Oh yeah.
So
I'm lucky. I've got literally. I've come into November with 5.5 days off, so I booked half a day last Friday, and I've got this week off work as well. So
nice. Yeah, I've got we'll work tomorrow, but we're close to the public. But then, worst Christmas party was meant to be Thursday. They then decided to move it to tomorrow. After everything, lucky enough, it starts like straight away. So I'm just going to dip out of that early. And it's on site, so it's like I don't need to go anywhere.
I'm back on the 22nd, 23rd, and then two of us are covering the on-call system over Christmas and the New Year.
So yeah, work tomorrow, followed by Christmas party, and then we'll be back here tomorrow for part 2 on your channel,
where I get to interview you instead.
That's it. And so that's going to be same sort of time, isn't it, for everyone, of 8 o'clock?
8 o'clock, yeah. We've always done 8 o'clock start.
And so, and that's again where my friend, the way you do things on YouTube certainly influences others on doing things. Look at my channel. I release basically the same sort of different days, but the same sort of time, doing very similar things of live streams. And it's all inspired by the sort of thing. It's always like, I like that. That's cool. Sort of thing. I'll do something.
It was good because I think originally I was doing lives sporadically. Leah was doing lives sporadically. And then I started doing them on a Tuesday and went, fuck it, it's just going to be every Tuesday. And then there was yourself and Leah and Mark just had different nights of the week. And in the early days, you could literally every night of the week, somebody was live. But I think it's good. 8 o'clock start's good because the majority of people release videos before then. So you can still get on somebody's Prem that, your favourite YouTubers. Prem might be out on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock, or 6 o'clock, so you can still go see that and then come onto the live. You see.
As in, it's also like, yeah, people perhaps they've had, might have had their dinner by then, or if they've got young kids, or got the young kids to bed, or whatever. And it's like, oh yeah, we'll sit down and chill.
I have the first hour child friendly, and then 9 o'clock. That's the watershed on my channel, so that's when the swearing and adult conversations come. Christmas Day live stream. The adult conversation and swearing will be from the word go, because people have had a drink, and I'm not gonna, yeah, it's just I'll just cover us and just say, look, it's it's going to be adult conversation and swearing from the word go. That's for sure. Yeah.
So anyway, I mean, if you haven't already, I'm sure everyone that is watching is subscribed to the channel, but do go and subscribe to Scott's channel.
Appreciate it.
Videos out Mondays and Thursdays, isn't it? Mondays and Thursdays videos, streams Tuesdays.
A little bit different over Christmas because I'm just having a bit of time with the kids. So if there's a video out in that week, it'll be either on the Monday or the Thursday or both. It's just over Christmas time. I obviously spend a bit more time with the family.
So don't know about there's a whole back catalogue that you can catch up on if
there's a lot of videos. Yeah, there's a lot of videos.
I mean, the scary thing is when a really old one pops up on my TV, and I'm like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's Scott."
I said that to Tara. Tara got one up from about 4 years ago, and I was like, "I've got no grey in my beard, got no wrinkles." I was like, "Who is it?"
I had one pop up the other day on my TV, and he had no beard at all, and I was like, "Who the hell was this?"
I think Tara would rather me go back to that no beard.
So I was like, and then it was like, "Oh, it's Scott."
No, she's changed her mind. She likes it with now. But I mean, come on. Yeah, there was one. I think it might have been the baby one where I've got like such a short beard. It's unreal. I said to Tara, I said, "Can I cut that short again?" She was like, "No."
That's it.
Well, I mean, if I'd left it,
keep the beard.
Yeah, this is the length that I like it. I don't want it any longer or short. So this is just right, I think.
The kids wouldn't like.
But yeah, the kids pull on it, don't they? When we play fighting, the boys will pull on the beard.
The kids would tell you to get out. They wouldn't know where you are.
No, they would cry.
Who is this person?
Who knows? Maybe when the boys are like 20, I might shave it off for charity or something. But I'm enjoying the fact that 46 and the grey's coming through. So I'm not going to be dyeing it. I'm going to let it go grey.
I mean, mine's all going grey. I haven't been bothered to dye
Yeah.
I just don't have the time. I don't have the time and can't be bothered. It's going grey. Allow it.
It's just if it goes when it goes like worse, it's just like, well, it's all part of me. It's age. Do you know what I mean? What do you want to do?
Absolutely.
I'm not going to dye it and try and look like a 20-year-old when I'm like leaving my late 40s. What's the point?
That's it. Ooh. Right, well, here's everyone for joining and
oh my god, Dale just prepped it. Gotta say a quick hello to Dale.
Right at the end. Hey Dale.
Oh mate, I've had some cracking live streams with Dale. He's been on. Dale has come on a live stream from a security hut, right? And he's there. He is live, and all you can see is his face and the background to this little security hut. And a lorry's coming, and I started going, "Oh, babe," and I've gone, "This is your doctor. Unfortunately, you've got every STD that we need." He's like scrambling to turn the fucking live stream off. Oh, mate, brilliant.
Had some good nights out with Dale as well.
Good lad. Yeah, good lad.
So, but
and some really good little live streams.
But thank you everyone that's tuned in, especially if you watched from the start. All the questions, make sure you tune in tomorrow on Scott's channel for the same again but reversed. Or Scott interviewing me, so giving you questions for that. So
it's a good couple of days for live streams, I think. This one.
That was just put in actually quite a big thing. He's coming back to the hobby. We'll highlight that. Yes, they
I'm not paying fuck for that.
definitely highlight that one. That's
Hopefully, Dan will appear at a few of the shows again.
that'd be
Well,
epic. But massive
Well,
thank you, Scott, for coming on. It's been a long time coming, and finally,
yeah, definitely appreciate it.
finally got around to actually asking you to come on, and I certainly appreciate you giving up your time because I know, you don't get a huge amount of time. So
I'm not like a massive fan of being interviewed, so you made it very easy, which I appreciated a lot. Because I think, like I said to you just off air, I think the last time I did it was with Inverts variant, probably about 5 or 6 years ago.
yeah, and you said that was wasn't live. It was it recorded it and then put it out.
Yeah, it was pre-recorded and then pre-recorded over Teams or StreamYard or something, and then went out.
And stuff, but I mean, well, over the 5 years of me doing this and stuff, I've got to know you, and we've become friends and stuff, and it's a thing of we're just two mates having a chat.
All the time.
But I won't keep you any longer because it's getting late. But I'll see you tomorrow night and see hopefully everyone else in chat tomorrow night as well.
From 8 PM onwards.
From 8 PM. Oh, see you all then. Bye, everyone.
Take care, everybody. Bye.